They're not just after your money. They're not just after your time. They're after your energy, your lifeblood, your essence. Because if they can keep you drained, they never have to worry about you rising. And that's the cold truth. No, they don't need to lock you in chains. They just need to keep you scrolling, keep you comparing, keep you tired. We are living in a machine, one built to devour your fire. And it feeds on the weak, the indecisive, the passive. It grows stronger every time you procrastinate. It thrives every time you choose comfort over progress. But you are not here to feed the system. You are here to break it. They steal from you in silence. You don't hear the alarms because the robbery doesn't happen in one night. It's slow. It's subtle. It's strategic. A pop-up here, a little drama there, a habit you told yourself was no big deal. And before you know it, your fire's gone. Your focus? Scattered. Your body? Weak. Your purpose? Forgotten. This isn't coincidence. This is engineered. You've been taught to leak your energy like it's infinite. But it's not. You only get so much per day. And every time you give it to the wrong thing, you become less. No. This is the part where most stay blind. Because waking up means pain. It means responsibility. It means no more excuses. But you didn't come here to stay blind. Let's get brutally honest. Where does your energy go? To people who drain you? To a job that doesn't challenge you? To devices that keep you numb? To fears that have never even happened? You give away more of yourself in one thoughtless day than warriors used to spill in battle. And what do you get in return? A dopamine hit? Another wasted hour? Another broken promise to yourself? You think the system cares that you feel stuck? You think it's going to stop just because you're tired? No. It wants you tired. Because a tired soul is easy to sell to, easy to manipulate, easy to own. But a soul on fire, a man or woman who has reclaimed their energy, that's dangerous. That's unpredictable. That's someone who cannot be controlled. There's a moment, a sacred moment in every warrior's life, where they look at the battlefield around them and say, I'm done playing by their rules. And in that moment, they stop leaking energy into dead ends. They stop explaining their fire to people who live in smoke. They stop living like their time is unlimited. You want to change your life? Change how you spend your energy. Cut the meaningless. Sharpen your aim. Because intention is a weapon. And right now, you need to become armed to the teeth. Wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because it separates you from the sleeping. Train your body, not just to look good, but because strength is proof that your energy is under your command. Silence your mind, not with distraction, but with dominion. Because you cannot win this war if you're still at the mercy of every craving, every buzz, every impulse. You must become untouchable. From within, you've got parasites, not just in your inbox, but in your life, your routine, your thoughts. They pretend to be normal. They pretend to be harmless. But deep down, you know what they are. Every excuse you let live is feeding off you. Every comfort you choose over progress is draining your strength. Every maybe later is a lie dressed in softness. No, you have to cut. You have to kill. Not softly, not someday. Now you want to know why most people never rise? Because they're still trying to bring their distractions with them. Still trying to carry their comfort into war. But war demands sacrifice. War demands discipline. War demands a soul that has decided You're either fighting for your life, or you're feeding the system that wants it. Choose. There's a fire in you, buried, beaten, but never broken. It's the part of you that remembers who you were before the noise, before the fatigue, before the world told you to sit down and be small. That fire can come back, but not through motivation, not through luck, not through waiting. It returns through action, through warrior-level choices, through ruthlessly redirecting your energy to what actually matters. Do the hard things first. Say no more often than you say yes. Delete the apps. Kill the tabs. Starve the weak parts of you until they wither. And then watch. Watch your mind sharpen. Watch your body strengthen. Watch your soul rise from the ashes. You don't need more inspiration. You need domination. Dominate your energy. Own your focus. Forge your will like steel. Because the world is not going to hand you peace. You have to seize it. You have to fight for it. You have to become it. You were born into a system that wanted you soft, distracted, divided. But you have the choice to become a weapon. You can let the world siphon your power until nothing's left. Or you can rise and reclaim every ounce of what they tried to take. No more sleepwalking, no more waiting, no more apologizing for your fire. This is your time. This is your war. And this is your voice returning to you. So ask yourself, right now, are you feeding the system or are you feeding the fire? Because you can't do both. Reclaim your energy. Reclaim your mind. Reclaim your destiny. Before there's nothing left to reclaim. Lesson 1. Audit the leaks. Become ruthless with your energy awareness. The core idea. Before you can reclaim your power, you must confront the truth. And the truth is this: you are bleeding energy. Not because you're weak, but because you've been conditioned to leak it. Endlessly, unconsciously, and without resistance. The system doesn't need to kill you. It just needs to exhaust you, drain you, keep you too scattered to fight back. If you don't know where your energy is going, you'll never know how to get it back. Dark reality. Check. You wake up tired. You spend your day chasing shallow distractions. You wonder why you feel empty, burnt out, frustrated. But here's the truth you avoid. You hand your energy over like it means nothing. You don't lose power. You leak it. Through your phone. Through pointless conversations. Through fake urgency. Through mental loops and emotional baggage. Every moment you spend unaware is a moment the system wins. No, this ends now. Implementation tactics. 1. Energy journal, the cold audit. For 3 full days, track everything you do, hour by hour. Log what you did, how long it took, and most importantly, how you felt after. Use a red pen for energy drainers, black for neutral, green for energy builders. At the end of day 3, add up the time spent on red zone activities. The truth will hit you like a hammer. Warning: you'll discover that 70 to 80% of your time is bleeding into things that serve no real purpose. 2. Identify the hidden parasites. Ask yourself, what apps do I open first thing in the morning? Who do I engage with out of guilt or habit, not growth? What small habits are stealing hours over a week? Even 30 minutes a day wasted equals 182 hours per year. That's over a week of life. Gone. For nothing. 3. Confront your addictions. Most energy leaks are not accidental. They are engineered addictions. Identify your top 3. Social media, news, mindless eating, porn, gossip. Admit the truth. These things own a piece of you. And anything that owns your energy owns you. Write them down, stare at them, then say, your reign ends now. Mindset shift. The energy is sacred doctrine. Start treating your energy like currency, like ammunition, like life force. You wouldn't light your money on fire. Why do you light your time on fire? Every leak you allow is permission for the system to keep you small. And understand this, until you feel disgusted by your own wasted time, you will not change. Let that disgust build. Let it burn. And let it become the fuel that drives your transformation. Daily rituals to reinforce this lesson. 1. The nighttime debrief. Every night ask, where did I feed the fire? Where did I feed the system? Score your day out of 10. Anything under 7? You fix it tomorrow. No mercy. 2. Energy alarms. Set 3 alarms per day to pause and ask, am I building or bleeding? Let the alarm shock you back to focus. 3. Morning mirror. Question. Every morning, look yourself in the eyes and ask, what will I no longer tolerate? Say it out loud. Mean it. Conclusion of Lesson 1. You cannot change what you refuse to track. You cannot rise if you keep leaking your fire. And you cannot become a warrior until you stop living like prey. Audit your life like it's a crime scene. Find every leak, mark every parasite, and prepare to eradicate them in Lesson 2. Because the time for numbness is over. This is war. And your first act of power is awareness. Lesson 2. Cut without mercy. Destroy the parasites. Elevate the mission. The core idea. You've found the leaks. You've exposed the parasites. Now comes the part most people fear. The execution. Not gentle, not gradual, ruthless. This is not about balance. This is about cleansing fire. Because anything in your life that siphons your energy without fueling your purpose is the enemy. No, you don't negotiate with leeches. You remove them. The brutal truth. Most people will never become who they're meant to be because they're too afraid to let go of what's killing them. They'll cling to toxic relationships because they're comfortable. They'll hold on to soul-sucking habits because they need an escape. They'll stay subscribed to chaos because silence would force them to face the emptiness. But that's not you. You're here for warrior evolution, and warriors don't carry dead weight into battle. Implementation tactics. 1. The digital purge. Kill the notifications. Uninstall every app that doesn't build you. Turn off every notification that pulls your attention away from mission-critical tasks. Delete social media for 30 days. Or at minimum, restrict usage to a single scheduled window. Your phone is not your ally. It's your leash. Cut the chain. 2. The social purge. Distance from drainers. Ask yourself, who around me supports the flame? Who fears the flame? And who wants to extinguish it? Create 3 columns. Fuel, neutral, drain. Anyone in the drain column? Minimize or eliminate contact. Yes, even if it's family, even if it's friends, especially if it's friends. Loyalty to energy vampires is slow suicide. 3. The environment reset. Your temple or your trap. Clean your workspace. Remove clutter. Destroy distractions. Make it a temple of war. Rearrange your room so that nothing passive is in your line of sight. Replace background noise with silence or audio that sharpens the blade. No more dulling your senses. Your environment should reflect your mission, not your comfort. The habit execution list. No more kind cuts. Make a list of your top 5 most destructive habits. Don't try to improve them. Kill them. Replace each with one power habit. Something that builds discipline, presence, or power. Example: kill late-night scrolling. Replace with a nighttime warrior debrief. Kill morning chaos. Replace with a sacred 5 a.m. ritual. Kill fast food. Replace with a discipline-based meal prep plan. You're not breaking habits. You're launching a premeditated strike. Mindset shift. Become the executioner of comfort. If it doesn't build you, it's burning you. If it doesn't sharpen your blade, it's dulling your edge. And if it doesn't serve the mission, it's standing in the way of it. Let them call you cold. Let them say you've changed. They're supposed to, because they can't follow you to war. Only warriors walk this path. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be unrecognizable. Discipline rituals to reinforce this lesson. 1. Weekly elimination day. Once per week, ask yourself, what's one more thing I can cut to protect my mission? Execute on it. No delay. This could be a subscription, a behavior, a person, a commitment that no longer aligns. 2. The no challenge. Say no 3 times a day to anything not aligned with your current priority. Build the muscle of refusal, because every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your destiny. 3. The silent sprint. Once per week, 2 hours. No phone, no talking. Just focus, action, or reflection. This is how you rebuild command over your own mind. Conclusion of Lesson 2. The parasites won't go quietly. They'll scream. They'll tempt you. They'll wear the mask of comfort, love, and entertainment. But you're no longer a slave. You're the executioner now. And your life, your energy, your time, your future depends on your ability to destroy what no longer serves you. You don't fix the system. You exit it. You don't ease out of the fog. You cut through it with fire. This is your purge, and you will come out clean, or you will not come out at all. Lesson 3. Reinforce the fortress. Build rituals that guard your focus. The core idea. You've identified the leaks. You've burned the parasites. But a fortress without walls will fall again tomorrow. Discipline is not just an idea. It is architecture, a system, a structure, a stronghold that you build around your energy to ensure it is never taken again. Because if you don't create the systems that protect your power, the world will drag you back into the same chaos you just escaped. No. This is where you turn your life into a battlefield designed for victory. The brutal truth. The reason people relapse isn't because they're weak. It's because their life is still designed for failure. They leave the door cracked open. They build no routine. They walk into their day unarmed. And by noon, the system has already won. Understand this. Every minute that's not claimed by you will be claimed by something else. So if you don't build a system of war, you'll live in a prison of distraction. Implementation tactics. 1. Construct the morning fortress, your most sacred hour. How you start is how you command. Wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because the world is still silent. No phone for the first 60 minutes. Your mind is too vulnerable. Protect it like a newborn. Build your warrior morning ritual, 30 to 90 minutes. 10 minutes silence or breath work. Command your mind 20 minutes movement. Activate the body 20 minutes learning or visualization. Feed the fire. Strategic planning. Identify top 3 wins for the day. Start with victory, or the world will start you with weakness. 2. Command your time. Kill the chaos. Structure is not a cage. It's a sword. Break your day into time blocks. Don't let the day happen to you. You assign it. Block time for creation, recovery, movement, learning, execution. Protect the first 4 hours of your day for deep, undistracted work. These are your kill zone hours. Use mission timers. 60-minute focus sprints followed by short decompression resets. During sprints, no phone, no email, no noise, only action. The one who owns the clock owns the outcome. 3. Guard the gate. Protect the fortress from within. Your greatest enemy is not the outside world. It's the back door you leave unlocked. Set clear, start, and stop. Rituals. Start of day. Warrior ritual. End of day. Review, reflection, recovery. Control your inputs like your life depends on it, because it does. No random scrolling, no reactive consumption. Use content. Don't let content use you. Define tech zones and no tech zones in your environment. Example, bedroom equals recovery temple. No devices, no exceptions. You don't just build discipline, you engineer it. 4. Environmental control. Make discipline the default. If your environment doesn't serve your goals, it serves your destruction. Organize your space like a war room. One space for deep work. One space for training. One space for recovery. Visual cues. Use symbols, quotes, tools, things that remind you who you are becoming. Dress for your war, even at home. What you wear influences how you show up. Sloppy appearance equals sloppy execution. Turn every inch of your world into a mirror of your mission. Mindset shift. Discipline is identity. This isn't about becoming more productive. This is about becoming someone else entirely. Someone who commands themselves. Someone who protects their energy like treasure. Someone who doesn't rely on motivation, because they are fortified by system. You are not just building rituals. You are becoming the ritual. Every movement, every choice, every second, done with intent. Discipline rituals to reinforce this lesson. 1. Nightly warrior review, the debrief. Ask, what did I do well today? Where did I leak energy? What must change tomorrow? Journal it. Lock it in. Improve daily by 1%. 1% sharper every day equals unstoppable in a year. Second Sunday fortress rebuild. Once a week, review your time blocks. Adjust for efficiency. Cut out weaknesses. Add reinforcements. Make your life a living algorithm that evolves toward elite execution. 3. The mirror oath. Every morning, look into the mirror and say out loud, I am the architect of this day. Nothing enters my mind or my schedule without my command. Conclusion of Lesson 3. Most people fail not because they lack willpower, but because they lack walls. You don't need more hustle. You need more structure. You don't need more motivation. You need a fortress. Because the moment your life is shaped around your mission, the world has no power over you. Reinforce the walls, sharpen the routines, and return tomorrow, stronger than today. Lesson 4. Transmute the fire. Channel your energy into purposeful, powerful action. The core idea. What good is reclaimed energy if it sits idle? What's the point of sharpening the blade if you never strike? This lesson is about transmutation. Taking your raw fire, your anger, your frustration, your hunger, and forcing it into the shape of action, creation, and domination. Because the system doesn't just want you tired. It wants you busy doing nothing. Active, but not effective. Running, but going nowhere. Motivated, but unfocused. No, this is where you break the cycle. This is where energy becomes impact. The brutal truth. Energy without direction is chaos. Focus without execution is delusion. And dreams without discipline are a slow death. This is where most warriors fall. They rise with fire, but fall into frenzy. They want results, but they scatter their attention across meaningless battles. And so they burn out. Not from too much effort, but from too many open fronts, too many unaligned actions, too many distractions disguised as opportunities. The fire isn't the problem. The lack of aim is. Implementation tactics. 1. Choose the mission. Define your singular purpose. You cannot hit a target you haven't chosen. Pick one primary mission for the next 90 days, not 10. 1. Build your business. Transform your body. Launch your skill into the world. Train for war, mind, body, and bank account. Everything else is noise until this is done. Your focus must become a blade, not a flame. 2. Daily kill targets, the non-negotiable actions. What gets measured gets mastered. Every morning, identify your top 3 critical tasks. Not busy work, not optional. These are the 3 moves that advance your mission. Execute them before you check your phone, your inbox, or the world's chaos. Use the mission timer. 60 minutes of total immersion. No distractions, no breaks, no excuses. 1 kill target completed daily equals 30 wins a month, equals an empire in a year. 3. Convert emotion into motion. Use your fire to move. Anger, frustration, pain, hunger. These are not weaknesses. They are fuel. Every time you feel resistance, pain, doubt, move. Don't think. Don't analyze. Don't debate. Train. Building right. Call. Sell. Strike. You are not your emotions. You are the one who uses them. Pain is the signal. Action is the response. Discipline is the alchemy. Fire, directed, is power. 4. Build keystone habits, daily engines of power. Habits are the bricks. Rituals are the mortar. Discipline is the wall. Choose 3 non-negotiable daily habits tied directly to your mission. 1 for the body, training. 1 for the mind, learning, journaling, silence. 1 for your legacy, business, money, content, creation. Commit to consistency, not intensity. Your habits are your daily oath to your future self. Consistency is the new identity. 5. Weekly war review. Track the results, not the feelings. Feeling like you're making progress and actually making progress are not the same. Once a week, sit down and ask, what moved the mission forward? What was wasted motion? Where did I scatter my fire? What do I cut next? Track your real results. Don't lie. Don't guess. Measure like a general preparing for battle. Clarity plus action equals momentum. Momentum becomes domination. Mindset shift. You are the weapon. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not your potential. You are the result of your actions. And now that you've reclaimed your energy, you must deploy it like a weapon. You don't use your power. You become your power. You don't try. You strike. This is not about staying busy. This is about building legacy. The world remembers those who execute, not those who could have. Discipline rituals to reinforce this lesson. 1. Power hour execution, non-negotiable daily block. 1 hour each morning dedicated to your most important kill target. Before work, before noise, before anyone else touches your mind. 2nd, emotion to action challenge. Every time you feel resistance, move within 5 seconds. Push-ups, cold shower, a call, a sprint. Right. Building break the delay loop. Burn the hesitation. Act. 3rd, creation over consumption rule. Create before you consume. Every day. Right before you scroll. Move before you watch. Sell before you learn. The one who creates rules. The one who consumes. Conclusion of lesson 4. You've built the energy. You've reinforced the fortress. Now it's time to strike. Stop sitting on your power. Stop hoarding your fire. Direct it. Use it. Wield it. Every day is a battlefield. and you're either gaining ground or losing it. There is no neutral. This lesson is where warriors are forged. Not by thinking, not by feeling, but by doing. Transmute the fire and make the world feel your impact. Lesson 5. Guard the gate. Stay vigilant. Never go back to sleep. The core idea. The greatest threat to your power is not failure. It's drift. You rise. You cut the parasites. You build the fortress. You channel the fire. But then, one late night scroll, one harmless old habit, one weak moment of distraction, and suddenly, you're back at zero. This lesson is not about rising. It's about remaining. Because discipline is not a one-time act. It is a perimeter you must patrol every day. No. This is the line between those who ignite and those who endure. This is the line between a spark and a legacy. The brutal truth. Most people don't fail because they never had it. They fail because they had it once. But they didn't protect it. They got a taste of momentum and let comfort sneak back in. They forgot the pain that woke them up in the first place. They stopped doing the small things. They got soft again. And the system doesn't care how many times you rise. It only needs you to fall once. And it will wait, patiently, quietly, ready to devour the undisciplined. Implementation tactics. 1. Daily gatekeeping ritual. Protect the mind. Before the world touches your mind, you must. Every morning, ask yourself one gatekeeper question before anything else. What is trying to enter my mind today that does not belong? What weakness is waiting to slip past my guard? Journal for 5 minutes. Write your primary threat of the day. Declare the counter strategy. If this shows up, I will do this instead. Your mind is a fortress. Let nothing in without purpose. 2. Weekly energy audit. Seal the cracks. You are only as strong as your last correction. Every Sunday, review your week with 3 questions. Where did I bleed energy? What discipline slipped? What must be reinforced? This is not reflection. This is surveillance. Write new rules. Update your rituals. Destroy anything that crept back in. Warriors evolve weekly. The weak evolve yearly, if ever. 3. Create immutable rules. Your unbreakable code. Rules that require willpower are weak. Rules that are unbreakable become identity. Define 5 personal laws that cannot be broken, ever. No phone before warrior ritual. Train 5 days per week, regardless of mood. Read every night for 20 minutes minimum. No tech after 9 p.m. 1 day per week in solitude and silence. Write them on your wall, your mirror, your phone. Tattoo them on your existence. Discipline is a code, not a suggestion. 4. Replace motivation with surveillance, discipline loops. You don't need motivation. You need systems that won't let you slip. Use a daily feedback loop. Start of day. What must be done? End of day. Was it done or not? No gray zones. No rationalizations. Red equals fail. Green equals win. After 3 reds in a row. Punishment protocol. Cold shower. 24-hour fast. Social blackout. Warrior's consequence. Consequence keeps the blade sharp. To the returning GrimFace warriors, you already know what this is. You've walked through the fire. You've bled for discipline. And still, you rise. We see you. We respect you. And this is only the beginning. To those new to the movement, you didn't find this by accident. You were called because something in you knows. You were meant for more than comfort, chaos, and compromise. Subscribe now. Lock in. Because something massive is coming. Inside the GrimFace community. We're building something most people won't even understand until it's too late. A brotherhood. A warpath. A complete system for warriors to master health, wealth, and inner power. And when it drops, you'll either be ready, or you'll be watching from the sidelines, wondering how you missed the moment. You were warned. You were chosen. We're just getting started. The world does not care how badly you want it. It does not bend for your desire. It rewards only one thing. What? You. Earn. You don't wake up successful because you hope for it. You don't rise because you need it. You rise because you refuse to stay down. Because you earn it. Every single day. This message isn't for the soft. It's not for the ones still waiting. It's for those ready to stop pretending and start becoming. Let's begin. Here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't owe you anything. No one is coming to save you. No magic hand is going to lift you from your situation. The world isn't fair, and it never will be. But that's your greatest weapon, because once you stop expecting life to be fair, you stop waiting. You start building. There are people out there, maybe even you, crying out for a harvest, but never planting a single seed. You don't get food because you're hungry. You get it because you work the ground, because you earn it with blood, sweat, and relentless effort. Stop blaming your past. Stop pointing at the system. Stop waiting for your break. Winners don't wait. They create. The moment you stop expecting life to hand you something, you take your power back. Everything in your life, every victory, every failure, it's yours. It might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. Own your future, because no one else will. You say you're broke because the economy sucks. You're unhappy because your job drains you. You're stuck because your past was hard. No. You're stuck because you refuse to own the solution. Every excuse you make is a chain, and you are the one holding the key. You don't need more luck. You don't need more help. You need more ownership. Decide that your circumstances are yours to conquer, that your pain is yours to repurpose, that your life is yours to build. Own it, or be owned by it. You want sympathy? You want the world to understand how tired you are, how rough your past was? Here's a secret. Nobody cares. The world doesn't reward your story. It rewards your output, your results, your grind, your action. You say you want it bad. Then why are you still sleeping in? Why are you skipping reps? Why are you making excuses? Winners suffer in silence. They rise before the sun. They work when the lights are off. They push when everyone else stops. Ali trained when he hated it. Jordan practiced when no one was watching. Disney created after losing everything. And you can't even finish what you start. Stop pretending you're doing your best. You're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't be where you are. So what do you do now? You work. You grind. You earn every inch. The world doesn't hand out rewards for wishes. It pays in exchange for value. And value only comes from sweat, from service, from skill. Stop asking why you're not rich. Ask, what have I created that deserves money? Stop asking for success. Start doing the things that create it. You're not paid for your need. You're paid for your contribution. If you want more, become more. Solve bigger problems. Create bigger value. Become undeniable. Ford didn't whine about cars being too expensive. He changed the game. Carnegie didn't beg for money. He built systems, companies, empires. Ask less, earn more. Pain is the price. You want to win? Then suffer. Struggle is your tuition for success. Everyone wants the reward, but almost no one is willing to bleed for it. Mandela, prison, Lincoln, failure after failure. Ali, agony in every workout. Pain is the gatekeeper, and comfort is the enemy. Most people fold the moment life hits back. They quit before the war even starts. But warriors, we endure. We welcome the pain, because we know it's shaping us. Every scar, a lesson. Every setback, a sharpening stone. If you're not willing to suffer for it, you don't deserve it. So embrace the burn. That's the price. Pay it. This world doesn't reward takers. It rewards givers. Success follows service. Want wealth? Give value. Want respect? Show up consistently. Want legacy? Contribute something that lasts. Mother Teresa didn't ask for praise. She served. Carnegie gave away his fortune. Ford gave working people transportation. Edison gave the world light. The law is simple. Give. First. You want a promotion? Bring more to the table. You want better relationships? Offer more love, more patience, more depth. The world is watching, and it pays in proportion to your output. So ask yourself, what are you giving? Success isn't a moment. It's a habit, a ritual. The ones who make it, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They show up daily. They do the work, regardless. Bruce Lee trained one kick 10,000 times. Franklin read, wrote, and refined every day. Newton studied relentlessly. You think you'll win because you worked hard once? No. You win because you don't stop. Success is a slow, brutal climb. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's lonely. But it works. Every day, a brick. Every habit, a weapon. Every rep, a vote for your future self. So choose wisely. Choose daily. Choose to be disciplined. Lesson 1. Stop waiting. Start owning. You are not entitled to success. You are responsible for it. Core philosophy. The world doesn't care about your dreams, your background, or your intentions. It rewards one thing: what you earn. Ownership is the mental shift that separates those who change their lives from those who stay stuck in excuses. Until you own it, your habits, your time, your mindset, nothing changes. Not your finances, not your health, not your relationships, not your future. And no one is coming to do it for you. You are the only one who can carry that weight. This lesson is about killing the victim mindset and stepping into total control. Mindset shift. Victim versus warrior. Victim mindset. Life is unfair. If only I had better luck. I didn't get the same chances. Somebody needs to help me. I'm waiting for my break. Warrior mindset. It's on me. I will find a way. I can't control everything, but I control myself. I build my break. Responsibility is power. The victim waits. The warrior builds. Implementation steps. The mirror ritual. Daily ownership declaration. Stand in front of the mirror each morning. Say this with intensity. Everything in my life is my responsibility. My actions, my results, my future. I own it all. Why? Because your reflection is your enemy and your ally. Start your day looking it in the eyes. Erase blame from your vocabulary. 30-day challenge. No more. It's their fault. That's just the way I am. I can't because every time you catch yourself blaming someone or something, pause, reframe. What can I do about this? Take action. Immediately, even if it's small. Blame is the drug of the weak. Replace it with decisive movement. The unfair advantage mindset reframe. Here's the truth. Your disadvantages are your weapons. The pain you survived, the chaos you endured, the silence, the betrayal, the failure, all of it forged you. Instead of saying, "It's not fair," say, "Good, I'll use it. Let this be my fire." Hard lives create strong leaders. Soft lives create nothing. Create your warrior code. A simple list of 3 to 5 beliefs you commit to living by. Print it, repeat it, live it. Example, warrior code. I am responsible for everything in my life. I do not blame. I act. I show up daily, even when I don't feel like it. I'm built for adversity. Pain sharpens me. I earn everything I want with discipline and fire. This code is your anchor. Say it out loud every morning and every night. It reprograms your identity. Weekly assignment, your ownership journal. Every night for 7 days. What did I take ownership of today? Where did I catch myself making excuses? How did I redirect it? What action did I take because of it? You don't need 100 perfect days. You need one honest day, repeated relentlessly. Final words. Ownership is freedom. When you blame the world, you give it your power. When you take responsibility, you take it back. You take back your time, your progress, your legacy. You stop waiting, and you start building. That's how you stop being soft. That's how you become unstoppable. Lesson 2. Build discipline, not motivation. You won't rise by how you feel. You rise by what you do, especially when you don't feel like it. Core philosophy. Motivation is fleeting. It's emotional, unstable, unreliable. It disappears when the alarm goes off. It vanishes in the cold. It abandons you when things get uncomfortable. But discipline is what's left when motivation dies. Discipline is action without permission. It is self-command, forged in fire, powered by purpose. Winners don't depend on moods. They depend on systems, on habits, on discipline. That's what this lesson is about. Becoming dangerous, regardless of how you feel. Mindset shift. Emotion versus execution. Motivated person. I'll train when I feel it. I just need inspiration. I'll get started once the mood's right. Disciplined person. I train no matter what. I don't need permission to act. I lead myself, not my feelings. Discipline is doing what must be done, especially when it sucks, especially when no one sees it, especially when everything in you says stop. Implementation steps. 1. Build a non-negotiable morning routine. Your day doesn't begin with the world. It begins with war. Choose a short, hard, consistent start that conditions your mind for execution. Example, warrior routine, 30 to 45 minutes. Wake up at the same time every day. No snooze, ever. Cold shower or splash ice water on your face. Shock the system. Recite your warrior code out loud. Set your intent. Do something physical. Push-ups, run, stretching, fast workout. Plan your top 3 priorities for the day. No fluff, only impact. If you win your morning, you own your day. 2. Define your daily discipline commandments. Choose 2 to 3 core habits that must happen every single day. These are non-negotiables, no matter how you feel. Examples. I train for 45 minutes daily. I read for 30 minutes, no distractions. I eat clean, no compromise. I create 1 valuable piece of content daily. I journal honestly before bed. Don't chase 20 habits, master 3, and live by them. Let them shape you. 3rd track, with ruthless honesty. The discipline calendar. You need proof that you're becoming who you say you are. Use a simple wall calendar or journal. Every day you complete your core habits. Mark a bold X. No half credit, No excuses. Full effort or nothing. Miss a day? Restart the streak. Why? Because this is about identity, not convenience. This isn't a fitness tracker. It's a battle ledger. Show the war you're fighting. 4. Adopt the go harder when it hurts rule. Every time your mind says, I'm too tired. Every time you feel resistance. Every time you want to skip, cheat, or delay. You go harder. Why? Because that moment is the rep that counts. That's the rep where warriors are made. Push one step beyond comfort. Daily. Add one more rep. Hold one more second. Refuse to quit early. That's the edge. You're training your identity with every hard choice. 5. Train in the shadows. No applause needed. Discipline is quiet. It's what you do when no one is watching. When there's no praise, no reward, no crowd. The question is, do you execute when there's no external pressure? Because that is who you really are. Make your training invisible. Let your results scream louder than your effort ever could. Every rep in silence is a brick in your fortress. Weekly assignment. Discipline reflection journal. Every night answer these questions. What did I do today that proved discipline? When did I feel resistance? And how did I respond? Did I follow my commandments without excuse? Where did I fold? And what must I fix tomorrow? Discipline is a skill, and all skills sharpen through repetition and reflection. Final words. Kill the mood. Keep the mission. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop needing energy, hype, or perfect conditions. That's soft. That's emotion-led living. That's weakness disguised as reason. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask. It commands. Be the kind of person who moves, regardless. Be the one they can't stop. Be the one who does it anyway. Motivation is optional. Discipline is required. Lesson 3. Trade comfort for strength. You cannot grow while staying comfortable. Strength is forged in discomfort. Power is born in the fire. Core philosophy. Every time you choose comfort, you weaken your edge. Every time you choose struggle, you sharpen it. Comfort is not just a feeling, it's a trap. It seduces you into mediocrity. It whispers, take it easy, while it robs your future. The modern world is built to keep you soft. Easy food, easy entertainment, easy distractions. But warriors are not built on easy. They're built on suffering with purpose, on voluntary hardship, on refusing the comfort that destroys potential. Mindset shift. Comfort versus growth. Comfort seeker. I deserve to rest. It's been a long day. I've earned this. I'll start tomorrow. This is good enough. Growth-driven warrior. Comfort weakens me. Pain sharpens me. Suffering is my forge. I will never be good enough. Only better. You are either reinforcing weakness or building strength. Every choice you make is a vote. Implementation steps. 1. Identify your top comfort crutches. Before you can kill your comforts, you must confront them. Ask yourself, what do I run to when life feels heavy? What do I use to numb discomfort, boredom, or pain? Common examples: mindless scrolling, junk food or binge eating, porn skipping workouts, avoiding hard conversations, procrastination disguised as planning. Write your top 3 down. These are your opponents. This is war. 2. Replace each crutch with a strength ritual. Don't just eliminate comfort. Replace it with pain that grows you. Examples: replace phone scrolling with 15 push-ups every time you feel the urge. Replace late-night junk food with a cold shower and journaling. Replace Netflix binges with reading a gritty biography. Replace avoidance with one brutal truth conversation per week. Don't run from discomfort. Schedule it. 3. Shock the system daily. Cold exposure. Your body and mind must be trained to obey you under stress. Start with a cold shower every morning. Start with 30 seconds. Build to 3 minutes. Ice water face immersion after work or training. Outdoor walk with no hoodie in cold weather. These aren't health hacks. They're obedience drills. Every time you do it, you're telling your comfort-seeking brain, I decide how we suffer, not you. 4th weekly voluntary hardship challenge. Pick one thing each week that you know will suck, and do it anyway. Examples: 5K run in the rain, 24-hour fast, 100 burpees for time, delete social media for 7 days, cold call 10 people you've been avoiding, wake up at 4:30 a.m. for a week. It's not about the task. It's about the decision to do what others won't, to kill the softness inside you, by choice. Pain. Reframe journaling. Every night write down, what was uncomfortable today? How did I respond to it? Did I seek ease or face pain? What pain did I choose? Over time, this trains your mind to associate suffering with progress. And that's when comfort loses its power. Weekly assignment, the comfort killer contract. Write this out by hand and sign it. For the next 7 days, I reject the comfort that weakens me. I will choose the path of resistance, pain, and discipline. I will destroy one comfort crutch. I will suffer by choice, because growth demands it, and I refuse to be soft. Post it where you can see it every morning. This is now your code. Final words. Choose the fire. Most people are broken not by tragedy, but by ease, by convenience, by indulging in softness disguised as self-care. But comfort never built kings. Comfort never built warriors. Comfort never built legacy. You don't evolve by staying warm. You evolve in the cold, in the dark, in the pressure. So choose the fire. Live in it. Train in it. Grow in it. Because every comfort you destroy reveals more of who you really are. Lesson 4. Serve. Don't seek. You are not here to take. You are here to give. Relentlessly, strategically, and with fire. Core philosophy. Most people fail before they even start, because they're asking the wrong question. What can I get? They ask for money. They ask for attention. They ask for a break. They beg the world to notice them. But the world does not reward beggars. It rewards builders. It rewards those who solve problems, who serve first, who create value when no one's looking. Success doesn't come from need. It comes from contribution. You don't receive because you're desperate. You receive because you delivered something the world couldn't ignore. Mindset shift. Taker versus giver. Taker mentality. I want more money. Why don't people recognize my value? When is someone going to give me a shot? They owe me. Giver mentality. How can I bring more value? What problem can I solve today? What skill can I sharpen to serve others better? I'll give until I become undeniable. You don't get paid for your desires. You get paid for your impact. Implementation steps. Morning value declaration. Before the world asks anything from you, ask yourself, who will I serve today, and how will I do it? Write down one specific way you will deliver value, a client you'll over-deliver for, a piece of content that solves someone's problem, a call you'll make to encourage someone, a product you'll improve, a process you'll streamline. Start your day in service mode. Warriors lead with value. Shift from asking to earning. Anytime you catch yourself asking, Why don't I have more money? Why isn't this working yet? Why won't people support me? Reframe immediately to, what skill am I missing? What do I need to do to become more valuable? What haven't I earned yet? This kills entitlement and births your builder mindset. Skill sharpening sessions. Daily. You can't serve if you're not getting better. Choose a high-value skill aligned with your mission and master it. Examples: sales writing, public speaking, copywriting design, negotiation, code, leadership marketing block. 30 to 60 minutes every day for deep, focused skill sharpening. Because the more valuable you become, the more unstoppable you are. Give more than you take. Always. This is your rule of power. I will always give more than I take. In conversations, in business, in relationships, in projects. When people experience you, they should feel your contribution, not your need, not your desperation, not your hunger to get, but your discipline to give. Because the truth is, takers are replaced, givers are remembered. Weekly assignment, the 30-day value challenge. For 30 days straight, wake up and write one new way to serve. Execute it. Reflect nightly. Did I lead with value today? Log the outcome. Learn. Adjust. Repeat. At the end of 30 days, audit your results. What opportunities were created? What relationships strengthened? What did you learn about yourself? Service is not weakness. It's your leverage. It's your power. It's your brand. Final words. You are the product. You are not owed anything. You are the solution. You are the product. You are the value. You are the reason things get better. But only if you train yourself to give first, to create relentlessly, to stop waiting and start building what others can't ignore. Serve like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Lesson 5. Master the micro to win the macro. Success doesn't come from big moves. It comes from small, disciplined actions repeated until the world cannot ignore you. Core philosophy. Everyone wants the breakthrough, the overnight win, the viral moment, the one-shot victory. But that's not how greatness works. That's not how warriors rise. Success is built in the shadows, in the boring, in the repetition, in the habits no one claps for. Big wins are built on micro-disciplines, tiny actions, daily choices, consistency when nobody's watching. You don't rise by doing something once. You rise by doing it again, and again, and again, until it becomes who you are. Mindset shift. Sprint versus endurance. The average thinker. I'll go all in this week. I need to feel a spark to start. If I don't see results fast, it's not working. The warrior thinker. I show up every day, no matter what. I don't rely on momentum. I manufacture it. The results come after the repetition. Most people quit too early. You go until you become the result. Implementation steps. 1. Identify one area to master. Ruthlessly. Pick one domain of your life to dominate through micro-discipline. Examples: health, fitness, nutrition, sleep. Finances, saving, investing, creating. Mind, reading, journaling, meditating. Business, marketing, outreach, product creation. Don't spread thin. Go deep. Laser focus on the one area that will unlock the most transformation. Dominate the basics. Master the mundane. 2. Design your daily success habit. Choose one small action you will commit to daily, no matter what. Examples: do 50 push-ups every morning. Save $10 every day before you spend anything. Read 10 pages every night before bed. Write 500 words every day, even if they suck. Record and publish one short-form video per day. The key is not intensity. The key is consistency. Start small. Lock it in. Let it become automatic. Then stack more. 3. Track it like your life depends on it. Use a notebook, app, or wall calendar. Every day you complete your habit, mark it with a bold X. Why? Because you're creating visible proof. A streak that screams, I'm becoming dangerous. Miss a day? Restart. No exceptions. The goal is not perfection. The goal is identity. 4th weekly. Discipline audit. Every week set a time to ask yourself, did I complete my habit every day? What excuses came up, and did I kill them? What changed this week because of my consistency? What micro habit can I reinforce or add next? Your audit is your mirror. No lies, no filters, just the truth and a plan to improve. 5. Use boredom as a weapon. Here's a truth that will separate you from the 99%. I do it even when it's boring. Most people quit because they need to be entertained. They need novelty, hype, energy. But champions, they train in boredom. They operate in silence. They repeat the same drill until they can't get it wrong. You don't need excitement. You need execution. Weekly assignment. The Identity Bricklayer Journal. For the next 7 days, log. What habit did I complete today? What was the hardest part of sticking to it? What did I learn about my limits? And did I push them? What tiny win did I create from this consistency? This habit log becomes your blueprint. Your journal becomes your proof of transformation. Because every page filled is a day you didn't quit. Final words. Consistency is immortality. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can feel inspired for a week. But few, very few, can stay disciplined for years. And those are the ones who rise. Those are the ones the world remembers. If you want big success, fall in love with small effort. If you want big freedom, commit to tiny disciplines. If you want a legacy, start with a habit. Because at the end of the day, you don't become legendary by doing something once. You become legendary by doing it until it becomes who you are. So master the micro, win the macro, brick by brick, step by step, day by day, until they can't ignore you, until you are the result. To the returning warriors, you already know what this is. This path isn't for everyone. It's for the few who bleed with purpose, who grind in silence, who kill comfort and choose greatness. You've stayed locked in. You've done the hard work when no one applauded. You didn't flinch. You didn't fold. You earned your place here. This isn't motivation. This is war. And you are part of a brotherhood and sisterhood built on fire, discipline, and execution. To the new ones just arriving, this movement is not about hype. It's about truth. And the truth is, most people stay soft their whole life. They choose ease. They never wake up. They die full of potential they never activated. But you're here. And that means something. So, if you're tired of weakness, if you're ready to kill the old you and rebuild from the ashes, if you're ready to earn your way into power, then subscribe now. Join the GrimFace movement. Because what's coming next is bigger than you've ever seen, and we're just getting started. GrimFace Official. Discipline and legacy. Let's build together. You are not who you think you are. You are who you've allowed yourself to become. And right now, you're living the consequences of every excuse, every skipped rep, every negotiation you've made with your lower self. But I've got one question for you. What if that version of you could be erased in just 90 days? Not masked, not hidden, erased. What if 3 months from now, the soft-spoken, lazy, indecisive, tired version of you was gone, and in his place stood someone sharper, stronger, more focused, more feared? What if you were respected, not for what you said, but for what you did every single day? That's not a fantasy. That's a decision. And it starts today. Let me be clear. This is not a motivational speech. This is a declaration of war. War against every version of you that's ever backed down. War against the old self you've kept alive for far too long. The scroller, the overthinker, the one who almost starts, but never finishes. I'm not here to hype you. I'm here to break you, to strip away the comfort, to reveal what's been hiding under all your excuses. You've played with transformation before. You've told yourself, this time, I'll change. But you didn't, because you never decided. This time is different, because now you have the blueprint. Now you understand that this is not about feeling good. This is about becoming dangerous. And that takes pain, repetition, and relentless self-discipline. You want to become unrecognizable? You have to move like you're possessed. You have to wake up every day and attack your routine like it's your enemy. Because the person you want to become, they are not waiting. They are working. And while you're debating, they are executing. The 90-day lock-in. Understand this. 90 days is not a challenge. It's not a trend. It's not some cute little productivity sprint. It is a rebirth. For 90 days, you will become a different species. You will cut comfort off at the root. You will eliminate distractions with the precision of a sniper. You will operate like your life depends on this. Because it does. If you fail to change, you stay dead inside. That's the truth nobody tells you. That soft version of you, they are not just a phase. They are a prison. And every time you let him run your life, you reinforce your own chains. So, here's the contract. You will follow 5 pillars. Every single day. No exceptions. No compromise. No breaks. This is not about checking boxes. This is about becoming someone who no longer needs to be convinced to rise. You don't need hype. You don't need inspiration. You need an identity. And that identity gets forged in the fire of discipline. Let's go. Pillar 1. Mind. The battlefield of life begins in the mind. Everything a person is, everything they are not, everything they will become, is forged inside the 6 inches between their ears. The mind is not neutral. It's not just some empty vessel. It's either a weapon or a trap. And right now, for most individuals, it's aimed at themselves. They wake up and start firing off doubts, firing off fears, firing off excuses disguised as logic. I'm not ready. I'm too tired. I've failed too many times. I can't change. They don't realize it's not the world holding them back. It's the scripts running silently inside their own head. And if they don't learn how to interrupt those programs, they'll die with those excuses still intact. Let's ask a brutal question. Who programmed that mind? Was it them? Or was it a parent? A teacher? Some failed authority figure who passed down broken beliefs? Was it society, constantly feeding their subconscious with fear, limitation, and shame? Because let's be real, Most people didn't consciously choose the thoughts they carry. They absorbed them. They downloaded them. And now those thoughts are dictating the entire course of their life. But here's the truth. The mind can be reclaimed. And if a person wants to become unrecognizable, they start with the first war. The war in their own head. This is not about motivational quotes. This is not about positive vibes. This is mental warfare. The individual doesn't need motivation. They don't need a cheerleader. They need to reprogram the machine, delete the virus, install new code. Because a person does not rise by feeling good. They rise by thinking right. That's the purpose of Pillar 1. Every day for the next 90 days, the individual will spend 1 hour feeding their mind deliberately. This hour is not optional. It is the foundation. Because the person who commands their thoughts can command their entire life. Here's how it works. This hour is broken into 3 parts: consumption, reflection, declaration. Each one sharpens a different edge. Each one carves away weakness. Each one is part of the daily mental forge. Let's break them down. Part 1. Consumption. Most people consume garbage, mental junk food, low-quality inputs, endless scrolling, news cycles built on fear, entertainment built to sedate, not stimulate. Their brains are not evolving. They're eroding. They feel tired, not because they're overworked, but because their minds are polluted. What a person consumes, they become. So here's the new standard. The individual will consume on purpose. Every book, every article, every conversation, every piece of content must build them. No exceptions. They'll choose material that challenges them, content that shatters their assumptions, authors who force them to grow. They'll seek ideas that make them angry, because those are the ideas that confront identity. That's the material that makes a person rebuild themselves. This isn't reading for entertainment. It's not about comfort. It's about evolution. They'll study philosophy, psychology, strategy, neuroscience, discipline, power, emotional mastery, decision-making under pressure. They'll study themselves by studying the minds of the greats. And as they do, they're not collecting quotes. They're installing new operating systems. Part 2. Reflection. Reading is only the beginning. Most people stop there. They nod along, highlight the quotes, feel inspired, and then forget everything. Not this person. This individual will reflect daily, at least 10 minutes. Mandatory. They will write down what they learned, what triggered them, what stretched them, what they need to apply. Because reading is input, but reflection is integration. This is where knowledge becomes identity. They will track their shifts, log their progress. They will treat their journal like a war log, not a diary. This is how they learn to think clearly, because they are no longer just reading books. They are studying the architecture of their mind, and the person who understands their own mind cannot be manipulated by anyone else's. Part 3. Declaration. This is the forgotten weapon, and it's lethal. Every day the person will speak, out loud, into their space, into their nervous system, into their future. They will speak who they are becoming. I am focused. I am consistent. I follow through. I build daily. I am no longer who I used to be. I command my mind. This is not about fake confidence. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about training your subconscious. Because what the subconscious hears enough, it doesn't question. It accepts. And once the subconscious accepts it, behavior follows. The individual doesn't have to try anymore. They simply move in alignment with what they've spoken into reality. This is called auto-suggestion, and it's one of the oldest, most powerful laws of the mind. But here's where most fail. They do the hour, then spend the other 23 undoing it. They fill their brain with garbage the rest of the day. They scroll through nonsense. They consume chaos. They keep feeding the virus they're trying to kill. You cannot do that. Not anymore. So this isn't just about what gets added. It's about what gets deleted. Delete the low-value input. Mute the negativity. Block the noise. Because every piece of low-level content is corrupting the code. The mind is a garden, and if it's not being cultivated, it's being choked by weeds. Choose wisely. Let's talk results. After 30 days, the internal voice changes. It stops whining. It starts commanding. They start hearing themselves think, for real. And what they hear is no longer rooted in limitation. It's rooted in precision. They speak differently. Their language sharpens. Their awareness expands. And for the first time, they begin to think strategically, not reactively, not emotionally, strategically. By day 60, they stop tolerating sloppy thinking. They no longer let old patterns run the show. They catch themselves mid-thought and reprogram it on the spot. They don't get pulled into debates. They don't spiral into anxiety. They don't identify with old stories. They move with mental clarity, like a laser, like a surgeon, like a weapon that's been waiting to finally be wielded. By day 90, they don't need hype. They don't need podcasts to push them. They've become self-fueled. The war in their mind has been fought, and they won. They are no longer at the mercy of emotion. They are no longer hijacked by insecurity. They are no longer addicted to mental comfort. They are calm, decisive, dangerous, and that kind of person cannot be stopped. Here's the daily protocol. 15 minutes, intentional reading, high-level content only. 10 minutes, journal reflection. Answer, what did I learn? What must I apply? 5 minutes, spoken affirmations, out loud, with conviction. Throughout the day, interrupt and reframe negative thoughts immediately. Track, log breakthroughs, monitor progress. Study your patterns. This is how a person rebuilds the mind, not with books alone, not with ideas alone, with deliberate repetition and ritual. This is how the old self dies, and a new identity, one built in silence, emerges from the fire. Final command. Rebuilding the mind is not easy, but nothing worth keeping ever is. The person who takes this seriously, who shows up daily, who tracks their thoughts like a sniper, who speaks into the silence, who cuts off the noise, that person becomes unrecognizable. They stop playing. They stop waiting. They start becoming. And the world has no choice but to take notice. Because a person with a forged mind doesn't need to prove anything. They just build. They just rise. They just dominate. Pillar 2, the body. The body is not a trophy. It is not decoration. It is not something to flaunt. It is not something to starve or inflate for validation. The body is a weapon. And for most people walking this earth, that weapon is dull. Their body is not a vehicle for purpose. It's a prison for their excuses. Software, tired, stiff, inflamed, overstimulated, undertrained. People are walking around pretending they're thinking clearly, when in truth, their body is failing them. If the mind is the command center, then the body is the execution unit. And if a person's body is weak, tired, unconditioned, then no matter how strong their intentions are, they won't last. They won't finish. They'll hesitate under pressure. They'll burn out under stress. They'll retreat when the weight gets heavy. This pillar is not about fitness. It's about function, about building a vessel capable of holding the weight of a meaningful life. Because without the body, the mind folds. Here's the code. For the next 90 days, the person trains every single day. No breaks, no negotiation, no days off because they're not in the mood. This is not a game. This is war. They move their body every day for at least 30 minutes, ideally 60th, and not casually. They move with intent. They sweat with purpose. They train their body the same way they train their mind, with discipline. This is not about aesthetics. It's not about fitting into a size. It's not about being admired. It's about commanding their own biology. Because a body that is not conditioned will betray its owner. It will slow their mind, drain their focus, kill their energy, and chip away at their ambition. But a body that is trained, that body becomes an asset, a multiplier, a weapon that enhances everything they do. What does training look like? It looks like sweat. It looks like strain. It looks like pushing when their lungs say, stop, and moving anyway. The person doesn't need a gym. They don't need a fancy app. They don't need a personal trainer whispering sweet affirmations. They need resolve. They can run. They can lift. They can box. They can hike. They can climb stairs. They can shadow box in silence. They can do push-ups in their bedroom. They can crawl uphill. They can carry weight on their back and walk until their legs tremble. The method doesn't matter. The standard does. And the standard is this. You move daily. You push daily. You suffer daily, by choice. Because pain is not punishment. It is permission. Pain is what separates those who wish from those who win. The person must learn to redefine their relationship with discomfort. They must stop running from it and start using it as proof. Proof that they're becoming something else, something rare, something dangerous. The first 30 days, they will be hell. Soreness will become a language. Excuses will rise like sirens. Their body will rebel. Their thoughts will betray them. They will say, "This is too much. One day off won't hurt. I've done enough for today." And in those moments, they will face a choice: build integrity, or rebuild the chains they swore they would break. Because this isn't just about the reps. It's about reprogramming self-trust. Every missed workout sends a message. My word means nothing. I lie to myself when it's inconvenient. But every day they train, no matter how they feel, they send a new message. I keep promises to myself. I follow through regardless of emotion. I am the kind of person who does not fold. By day 30, the soreness will still be there, but their identity will begin to shift. They'll no longer dread the pain. They'll crave it, because pain will become proof. Proof that they're moving differently, living differently, becoming someone else. Their posture will shift. Their gait will change. Their body will start to reflect the discipline they've been feeding it. They'll start to carry themselves like a different person, not because of ego, but because of evidence. By day 60, their body will become their armor. Tight posture, calm breath, steady shoulders, eyes that don't dart, hands that don't fidget, a jaw that doesn't clench under stress. They will radiate presence, not because they trained for a look, but because they trained for command. Their body will no longer just carry their weight. It will carry their standard. By day 90, the person will no longer need motivation. They won't need a playlist. They won't need caffeine. They'll just move. It'll be embedded in their nervous system, hardwired into their routine. No longer a decision, now a law. They won't be dragging themselves to workouts. They'll be pulled forward by a deeper force, identity. And identity is more powerful than any emotion. It doesn't ask for energy. It produces it. Now let's talk about fuel. This is not about diet trends. This is about respect. You cannot fuel a war horse with sugar and expect it to sprint through battle. So for 90 days, the person cleans it up. They cut the processed garbage. They ditch the energy drinks. They eliminate the foods that kill clarity. They eat like a leader, not a child. Lean proteins, greens that grow, fats that sharpen, water that restores. They do not treat food like entertainment. They treat it like ammunition. Because what goes in will either build their edge or dull their blade. Recovery. Sleep isn't optional. Recovery isn't laziness. It's part of the training. A person who grinds without rest is not a warrior. They are a candle lit at both ends, and it's only a matter of time before they burn. So they train hard. Then they recover with discipline. No screens in bed. No late-night chaos. No midnight dopamine hits. They sleep with purpose, wake up with clarity, and hit the ground like a person with something to prove. Here's the daily protocol. 30 to 60 minutes of intense movement. No matter how they feel. Fuel that sharpens. Nothing that dulls. Cold showers to train discomfort. Optional, but recommended. Recovery like a professional. Sleep. Hydration. Breathwork. Track it. Calendar. Habit apartment journal. Doesn't matter. Log the war. And most importantly, if they miss, they make it up. Twice as hard. Twice as long. With zero apology. Because this is no longer about the body. This is about discipline. About becoming the kind of person who finishes what they start. Every time. Final command. A person can have all the vision in the world, but if their body can't carry it, the vision dies in the dust. So they train. Daily. Without fail. They build a body that backs up their ambition, that protects their mind, that carries their mission, that fuels their presence, that reminds them, every single morning, I don't negotiate with weakness. And in 90 days, they won't just look different. They'll move different, decide different, live different. Because the soft version of them, the tired, distracted, comfort-seeking version, will have been buried under every single rep. And what emerges from that fire is a person no one will recognize. Pillar 3, the mission. A person without a mission is not free. They may look alive, they may smile, they may keep themselves busy, but inside, they're drifting. They're waiting for clarity, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for some external force to tell them who they are. That force isn't coming, and the longer they wait, the further their potential bleeds out. This pillar exists to end the waiting. Because a person without a mission isn't just lost. They are dying a slow death. Every life has a current. And if someone doesn't choose a direction, the current will choose for them. And that direction, it's always downhill. Into comfort, into seduction, into distraction, into just getting by. But this person, the one committing to 90 days of complete transformation, they aren't here to drift. They're here to build. Let's be real. Not everyone knows their mission on day one. That's okay. Because for the person who's serious, not knowing becomes no excuse. It becomes the first mission. For them, it's simple. If I don't know what I'm building, then finding it becomes what I build. They don't sit back and wait. They start moving. They read. They reflect. They try things. They fail. They listen to the fire underneath the noise. They pay attention to what pulls them, and they stay in motion. Because clarity is never given to the passive. It is earned by the consistent. Here's the code. Every single day, for 90 days, the person dedicates 90 minutes of uninterrupted time to their mission. They block it off. They protect it like their life depends on it. Because in truth, it does. This 90-minute block is sacred. It is not multitasking. It is not light reading. It is not busy work. It is deep execution. If the person already knows what their mission is, then this time is used to build it. Write the book, grow the business, train the skill, design the system, build the framework, craft the program, develop the product. If they don't know their mission, then this time is used to create clarity. That means journaling, reading, researching, testing, exploring, reflecting, not endlessly, but with direction. Here's the truth. Clarity is not lightning. It's fire. It doesn't strike once. It builds. It burns slowly. It demands fuel. And that fuel is daily action. So the person doesn't wait until they feel ready. They move. And through the movement, they become ready. Why 90 minutes? Because 90 minutes a day is 10.5 hours per week. Over 90 days, that's 135 hours. That's more than enough time to launch something real, learn a new monetizable skill, create a deep body of work, rewrite identity through consistent action, get further in 3 months than most do in 3 years. But most people never give their dream even 90 minutes a week. They say they want it, but they never carve out the space to build it. That's why this person, they become unstoppable. Because they give their dream the one thing it's been starved of: time. What does the work look like? That's up to the individual. But there are non-negotiables. This block of time must be focused, real, progressive, difficult. Let's break it down. Focused. No phone, no multitasking, no checking messages, no jumping between tabs. One mission, one task, total immersion. Because if attention is scattered, progress is fake. They set a timer. They enter flow. They go dark. Because real work happens in silence, not in stimulation. Real. The work must build something. No theoretical to-do lists. No abstract research for hours. No sitting around tweaking logos and fonts. The question is this: what did I actually create today? If nothing was built, then the block wasn't honored. This person produces daily, not when it's perfect, not when it's exciting. Every day, they don't accumulate information. They create transformation. Progressive. Each day must build on the one before. Small, focused, compounding steps. The mission must evolve. The work must deepen. The complexity must rise. They don't just repeat yesterday. They expand it. They track their progress. They measure what matters. They reflect on what worked, then refine it. This is not routine. It is calculated momentum. Difficult. If it feels easy, they're not doing it right. This block must challenge their limits. It must test their edges. They should feel resistance, because resistance is the signal of growth. The person who does easy things becomes forgettable. But the one who pushes through boredom, pain, confusion, and doubt, that person becomes formidable. Let's talk about resistance. The first few days are exciting. New structure, new intensity, new vision. Then comes the wall. The mind starts whispering, "This isn't working. You're wasting your time. Take a break today." These voices are not truth. They're traps. They're the old identity trying to survive. But the person who keeps showing up anyway, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, that's the person who breaks through. Because consistency is not about feeling like it. It's about doing it anyway. By day 30, the boredom kicks in. There's no applause, no obvious milestone, no massive breakthrough, just repetition, just quiet effort, just the same block every day. This is where most people quit. Not because it's painful, but because it's dull. They say, "This can't be it. There must be another way. This doesn't feel magical." And they abandon the system right before it starts to work. But this person, they keep building. They understand that success isn't supposed to feel exciting every day. It's supposed to stack quietly in the background. Until one day, it can't be ignored. By day 60, the work starts to click. The flow deepens. The resistance fades. The skill sharpens. They stop trying to focus. They become focus. Their hands move faster. Their mind connects ideas quicker. Their work carries weight. This is the beginning of mastery. And it didn't come from hype. It came from devotion. By day 90, they are a different person, not because the world recognizes them, but because they recognize themselves. They know what it feels like to show up relentlessly. They know what it takes to build something real. They carry evidence in their work, in their energy, in their identity. They are no longer someone who tries. They are someone who executes. Here's the daily protocol. 90 minutes of deep work, every day. Non-negotiable, scheduled in advance, preferably first thing in the day. One clear objective, tracked and reviewed nightly. No phone, no distractions. Log what was built. Reflect, improve, repeat. No feelings. No, wasn't in the mood. No soft exits. They execute because it's who they are now. Final command. The world doesn't need more followers, more content consumers, more people waiting for permission. It needs builders, thinkers, creators of new reality. That's what this pillar creates. Someone who doesn't wait for destiny. They forge it. Someone who doesn't watch from the sidelines. They design the arena. And every 90-minute block, it's one brick in the cathedral of their future. So they build, silently, ruthlessly, unapologetically, because their mission is not a wish. It's not a dream. It's not a maybe. It is a non-negotiable identity. And the person who builds daily becomes unstoppable. Pillar 4, stillness. Silence is not weakness. Stillness is not laziness. Rest is not retreat. They are weapons. And in a world addicted to noise, the most dangerous person alive is the one who has mastered stillness. Look around. Everyone is plugged in. Every second, every space, every moment. They scroll when they wake. They scroll when they eat. They scroll between thoughts, between tasks, between breaths. Input, input, input. Constant stimulation. Endless distraction. No space to think. No time to feel. And they wonder why their thoughts are fogged. Why their creativity is dead. Why their anxiety never shuts up. Why they feel like they're losing control of their life. The answer is simple. They've never learned to shut the system off. They've never sat in silence long enough to meet themselves. Pillar 4 exists for one reason: to recalibrate the mind through withdrawal from the chaos. To train the person to operate without the background, noise, of modern life, to teach them the ancient, lethal power of presence. This is about discipline of the nervous system. This is about soul recovery. This is about becoming so grounded that nothing can shake them. Not opinions, not rejection, not failure, not noise. Because when a person controls their internal state, the external world bows. The code is simple. Every single day, the individual takes 10 to 20 minutes to sit in stillness. No phone, no music, no talking, no scrolling, no stimulation, just them, their breath, their thoughts, their presence. This is not about doing nothing. This is about doing the most important thing they've never done. Listening, not to the world, but to their self. Let's make something clear. Stillness is not meditation. Meditation is a method. Stillness is a state. It is not posture. It is not a trend. It is not about apps or mantras or branding. Stillness is the absence of reaction, the collapse of stimulation, the intentional return to the source. It is withdrawal, reclamation, the reset switch of a conscious being in an overstimulated world. Why does this matter? Because the modern world is at war with clarity. Everything is built to hijack attention, to spike dopamine, to create noise. And the mind, without rest, becomes a prisoner to that chaos. Thoughts don't land, ideas don't form. Focus dissolves, decision-making weakens, and the person starts reacting to life instead of creating it. That's why most never break through. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, because their nervous system is fried, their brain is smoked, and they've never rebooted the machine. Stillness is not wasted time. It is the calibration of internal power. It is where intuition sharpens. It is where decisions crystallize. It is where old noise dies. It is where identity takes shape. A person who can sit in silence is a person who does not run from themselves. And that person, they are unstoppable. Let's go deeper. When a person sits in stillness, here's what happens. They begin to notice their thoughts. They stop reacting to them. They stop identifying with them. They start watching. And then they start choosing. And that is the shift. Because most people are not thinking. They're remembering thoughts that were given to them. They're not present. They're replaying loops. Stillness breaks the loop. It breaks the addiction. It breaks the illusion that everything is urgent. It shows them what actually matters. And more importantly, it shows them what doesn't. In stillness, they begin to separate themselves from the pressure to perform, the addiction to opinions, the compulsion to compare, the tendency to overcommit, the lie that motion equals progress, and they begin to remember who they are, what they stand for, what they will no longer tolerate. Stillness becomes a mirror, and that mirror, it shows the raw truth. No filters, no performance, just clarity. Let's talk about the resistance. The first time a person tries to sit in stillness, they'll hate it. They'll reach for their phone. They'll check their imaginary notifications. They'll fidget. They'll twitch. They'll look around. They'll feel like they're wasting time because they've trained their body to run from silence. But that discomfort, that's detox. It's their nervous system shedding dependency. It's their mind rejecting the purge. And if they sit with it, if they breathe through it, if they stay when every part of them wants to flee, they win. Here's what happens after consistent practice. By day 30, stillness no longer feels like punishment. It starts to feel like power. Thoughts start to slow. Decisions become easier. Reactions become rarer. They become the kind of person who can sit through discomfort without being owned by it. That's a dangerous level of self-control. By day 60, their creativity surges. Ideas begin to form in silence. Solutions arrive without force. Their intuition sharpens. They can feel what's right without needing 10 opinions. They no longer look outward for answers, because the answers are returning internally. They become calm, centered, focused, not by accident, but through intentional inner training. By day 90, stillness becomes a source of clarity, power, and identity. They don't crave stimulation anymore. They require silence. They don't fear boredom. They thrive in it. They don't look for noise. They seek the signal, because now they understand. A person who doesn't run from silence is a person no one can manipulate. Their focus becomes magnetic. Their calm becomes contagious. Their mind becomes a weapon. Here's the protocol. Every day, 10 to 20 minutes. Non-negotiable. No sound, no phone, no screen, no input. Just sit, or walk, or breathe. But do it in pure presence. Let thoughts rise. Watch them. Let them fall. Return to the breath. No fixing. No judging. Just observation. This is not about doing it right. This is about doing it anyway. The goal is not relaxation. It's reconnection. And it must be earned. Daily. Final command. In the noise, everyone looks the same. Everyone reacts. Everyone performs. Everyone reaches for stimulation. But in the silence, that's where the real ones rise. That's where the person becomes different. Still, present, focused. No matter what chaos comes from the outside, they don't flinch, because they've already faced the storm inside. Stillness is not the absence of activity. It's the mastery of awareness. And the person who masters awareness can master anything. So they sit, and they own the silence, because what comes from it can never be stolen. Pillar 5. No negotiation. This is where the line gets drawn. This is where softness dies. This is where trying ends and becoming begins. Pillar 5 is the code. It is the iron that binds all the others, because without it, everything collapses. Without this pillar, discipline becomes random. The body gets soft. The mind forgets. The mission derails. The silence gets drowned in distraction. Pillar 5 is the law behind the structure. Number negotiation. Let's say it again. No negotiation. Not sometimes. Not when it's convenient. Not when the sun is shining and motivation is high. Every day. Every choice. Every action. Follow through isn't a mood. It's an identity. Most people fail not because they're weak, but because they negotiate with themselves. They say they'll wake up early until the bed feels warm. They say they'll train today until the soreness kicks in. They say they'll do their deep work until something urgent shows up. That's not failure. That's self-betrayal. Every time a person backs down from their own word, they fracture their identity. They reinforce the belief, my word is flexible. My commitment is optional. My vision is not sacred. And that belief will sabotage every goal, every habit, every transformation. So what does no negotiation mean? It means the decision was already made, and it doesn't get revisited. The training? It's happening. The reading? The mission block? It's locked in. The silence? It's honored. The food? The sleep? The boundaries? Already decided. No debate. No delay. No mental gymnastics. The person doesn't hope to follow through. They expect it. Because their standard is non-negotiable. Let's get psychological. Every time a person keeps a promise to themselves, they cast a vote for who they believe they are. One decision, it's a moment. 90 in a row. That's a new identity. That's how internal transformation works. Not from journaling dreams, not from visualizing success, from living in alignment with what was spoken. And the opposite is true too. Every time a person skips, they tell their subconscious, I'm not serious. I don't finish. I'm just pretending. And eventually, the subconscious stops believing anything they say. That's why most people have no momentum. Not because they don't want it, but because they don't believe themselves anymore. And how could they? They've taught their own mind to expect the fall off. Let's talk tracking. No negotiation requires visibility. Why? Because the brain lies. It will say, you've been consistent. You're doing better than before. But the numbers don't lie. So they track every pillar, every day. No gaps. The workout, the reading, the mission time, the stillness, the adherence to this code. They don't guess. They know. And when they see those streaks build, when they see that chain of days unbroken, they'll feel something most people never get to feel. Self-respect. Because that's what this is really about. Not achievement. Not appearance. Not proving something to others. It's about earning back the respect of the person in the mirror. When that person says, I'm doing this, and they do it. When that person says, I won't skip today, and they don't. When that person says, I'm not who I used to be, and their life proves it. That is the foundation of unshakable confidence. And that can't be bought. That can't be faked. That can't be posted. It has to be earned. What does a no-negotiation life look like after 90 days? It looks like momentum. The body is tight. The mind is sharp. The mission is moving. The stillness is working. They become the kind of person who others can feel. Not because they talk about their habits, but because their presence radiates discipline. They walk differently. They speak with clarity. They say less, but every word lands. Why? Because they trust themselves now. Because they've been tested, and they didn't fold. Because they've lived through the war of self-doubt, distraction, and delay, and won. Here's the code. If the person says it, they do it. If they commit, they follow through. If they fall, they correct immediately. They never negotiate with fear. They never negotiate with comfort. They never negotiate with the old version of themselves. And if they must choose between easy and true, they always choose true. Final command. Pillar 5 is the difference between a good run and a complete identity shift. It is the reason the other pillars hold. Because what good is a powerful mind if it's not directed daily? What good is a strong body if it folds when it's tired? What good is a mission if it's always being renegotiated? What good is stillness if it's replaced with chaos at the first sign of pressure? No. Negotiation is not just a habit. It is who they are now. And from this moment forward, every action answers one question. Am I negotiating with my old self? If the answer is yes, correct it. If the answer is no, double down. Because this is the edge, the blade, the black and white line between the person they were and the person they're becoming. And once they cross it, there is no going back. Reset the brain. Cut the dopamine. You've been hijacked. Not by people, but by your own chemistry. Every notification, every scroll, every quick check has rewired your brain for weakness. You're chasing stimulation instead of fulfillment. So for these 90 days, Cut it. Cut the endless scrolling. Cut the binge content. Cut the background noise. And most importantly, cut the substances. Alcohol, gone. Anything that dulls your clarity, gone. Your edge is not negotiable, and you don't trade clarity for comfort. The 3 walls. You will hit 3 walls. All of them are traps. All of them are tests. The first comes fast, day 7 to 10. The honeymoon fades. The work gets heavy. The whispers return. This is too much. You've done enough. You can start again later. Those are the voices of death. That's the old you begging to survive. Silence it. Move anyway. The second wall, day 30. Boredom. No more novelty. Just routine. Just reps. Just grind. This is where men quit. Not because of pain, but because of doubt. Don't fall for it. Stay locked in. Because under the surface, everything is shifting. The third wall, day 60. This is where the rebirth begins. You move without resistance. You act without overthinking. Your habits feel like instinct. This is the moment you realize you're not pretending anymore. You are. By day 90, you're not chasing transformation. You've become it. You're no longer dragging yourself through change. You're moving with precision, with rhythm, with power. Because discipline is no longer something you try. It's who you are. This is what it means to become unrecognizable. Final command. When you feel tired, repeat this. I said 90, not 9. When your mind begs for the exit, respond with action. When the world doesn't clap, clap for yourself. When you want to fold, don't. Because the man you are becoming, he's watching, and he's waiting for you. You've flirted with change before. This time, you finish it. This time, you become it. Imagine this. You were never born to blend into the crowd. You were never meant to crawl through life, head down, apologizing for your existence. You were forged to accomplish something great, stamped by fate itself, with a mission that only you could complete. But somewhere along the way, you forgot. You let the world convince you that ambition was a sin, that wanting more made you greedy, that standing tall made you arrogant. And so you shrank. You bent your neck to wear the collar they offered you. And you traded destiny for comfort, for acceptance, for nothing. Today we set that collar on fire. The rebirth of ambition. Understand this. Ambition is not your enemy. It is your engine. It is the molten core beneath your skin. The living force that drives everything powerful and meaningful in this world. The monuments of history, the revolutions, the art, the innovation, the empires, all were born from ambition. So why do you fear it? Why do you apologize for your hunger? Why do you act as if daring to dream is some kind of shame? No more. You must unleash your ambition. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. There is no honor in pretending you were meant to live small. There is only betrayal. A betrayal of the life you were chosen to live, and the legacy you were meant to leave behind. And make no mistake, if you do not choose your destiny will choose someone else. Your attitude is your weapon. Look around you. The battlefield is not paved with bullets and bombs. It is paved with moods, emotions, energies. Human beings are not rational creatures. They are mirrors. They reflect back to you exactly what you project. If you approach the world with hostility, expecting betrayal and failure, you will summon it. You will call forth the very demons you claim to fear. If you approach others guarded, anxious, insecure, you will watch opportunity wither before your eyes. But if you approach them with unwavering confidence, if you walk into every room believing, knowing that you were born for greatness, then the gates of fortune will crack open. Not because the world is fair, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because belief is contagious, because certainty is magnetic. The question is, what are you infecting the world with? Fear, doubt, weakness, or vision, power, and unshakable purpose? The fall of weak kings. Understand this truth. The world does not reward titles. The world does not reward birthrights. The world does not reward the empty symbols of authority. It rewards those who lead from the front, who bleed first, who risk first, who work harder, think sharper, and endure longer. The entitled will fall. The cowards will crumble. The self-important will be devoured. Only the self-reliant survive. Only the battle-hardened rise. Only those who carry the weight without complaint will ever taste true power. Do you think you deserve success just because you want it? Because you have a dream? Because you think you're special? No. You will earn it in the furnace of failure. You will earn it in the pit of loneliness. You will earn it while others laugh, doubt, and disappear. You will forge yourself while they rot. And when you emerge, scarred, relentless, undeniable, the world will have no choice but to follow you. Burn the past. Your past is dead weight, a grave you keep dragging behind you. The betrayals, the failures, the pain. It's time to light it all on fire. Not to forget, but to free yourself. You are not your history. You are not your wounds. You are not your mistakes. You are what you choose to become next. So write down your pain. Write down the failures they use to define you. Then strike the match and watch it burn. Feel the fire crackle inside you. Feel the chains fall away. You were never meant to carry this corpse of who you used to be. You are a weapon being forged, and the past is nothing but smoke now. Become a visionary. The cowards will tell you to focus on the day-to-day. The broken will tell you to be realistic. The defeated will beg you to live in the moment, because they're too afraid to plan for the future they know they'll never claim. You are not one of them. You must see 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. You must build your life the way an architect builds a fortress, stone by stone, with ruthless long-term vision. Every day you delay, you sell your future for a handful of comfort. Every excuse you cling to, you surrender another year to regret. Look into the storm, see the empire you were born to create, and move toward it relentlessly, no matter who doubts you, no matter how far it seems. The future belongs to those who claim it. The meek will inherit nothing but regret. Embrace adversity or die. Adversity is not a curse. It is not a punishment. It is initiation. The trials you face are meant to tear the weakness out of you. The failures are meant to sharpen your instincts. The betrayals are meant to teach you who you are. Every scar is a blade welded to your armor. Every defeat is a torch that burns your path forward. Do not run from the fire. Run into it. Laugh at the smoke and the ash. Welcome the storms. They are the only thing that will make you invincible. The path to your destiny is paved with broken dreams and bloody hands. And only those who embrace the pain, who demand the pain, will ever rise to seize it. Meditate on death. Every day you waste, every hour you hesitate, every moment you choose comfort over conquest. Death is moving closer. You think you have time? You think you can wait until you're ready? No. The grave is calling. The clock is ticking. But if you face death now, if you stare it down and smile, it will gift you something far greater than fear. It will give you urgency. It will give you hunger. It will give you life. Because when you remember that none of this is promised, you stop postponing your greatness. You stop waiting for permission. You stop living like a ghost in your own story. You rise, and you burn your name into the stones of history before the dust swallows you whole. Lesson 1. Reclaim your ambition. Summary. Ambition is not a curse. It is not a flaw that must be hidden, diluted, or apologized for. Ambition is the sacred flame buried deep inside you. It is the voice that whispered to you when you were young, before the world taught you to fear it. It is the force that separates the nameless masses from those who carve their names into the bones of history. To reclaim your destiny, you must first reclaim your ambition without shame, without hesitation, and without compromise. The death of false humility. Society has trained you to shrink yourself, to stay small, to stay humble in the worst sense of the word. They will call you selfish for wanting more. They will call you arrogant for daring to rise above mediocrity. But understand this clearly. Humility, when corrupted, becomes self-sabotage. It becomes a leash wrapped around your throat by those who fear what you could become if you ever stood tall. You owe no one an apology for your hunger. You owe no one an explanation for your fire. You owe yourself the full expression of the power within you. Anything less is treason against your soul. How to rekindle the sacred fire. The first step is to stop asking for permission to dream. You need no one's blessing to become great. You need no validation from the weak to pursue the extraordinary. Every morning upon waking, before the world has a chance to infect you with doubt, write down 3 goals that terrify you. Goals so large they make your stomach tighten. Goals that force you to evolve into a stronger version of yourself. These are not wishes. These are battle plans. Next, purge your language. Words are seeds. What you plant, you will grow. Remove all language of weakness from your mouth and mind. Never say hopefully, maybe, or someday again. Speak only in declarations. I will. I am. It is done. Rewire your mind to command reality rather than beg from it. Study greatness. Become a student of ambition. Every week, choose one figure who changed the course of history. Read about their lives. Understand that every masterpiece, every empire, every innovation was once just a violent, blinding ambition in someone's chest. Recognize the pattern. Model it. Become it. Kill the fear of judgment. One of the great poisons of the modern world is the addiction to approval. You have been conditioned to fear the judgment of others more than you fear the death of your own dreams. This must end. Their opinions do not build your future. Their mockery does not pay your dues. Their laughter does not forge your legacy. You must sever the chains of public opinion. Every time you hesitate because you wonder what others will think, you are sacrificing a piece of your destiny. No more. Begin treating the opinions of others as background noise, a weak static that you learn to tune out completely. Their doubt is irrelevant. Their fear is irrelevant. Their limits are irrelevant. Only the voice inside you matters. Only the vision you hold matters. Only the mission you are building matters. Anchor yourself to a ruthless why. Ambition without a clear reason decays into fantasy. You must anchor your ambition in something immovable. Ask yourself every day, why must I win? Why must I build this empire? Why must I rise when others fall? Find a reason that makes failure unacceptable. Find a reason that makes quitting a form of spiritual death. It could be the honor of your family, the need to break a generational curse, the desire to dominate your industry, the hunger to leave a legacy that echoes long after you are gone. Whatever it is, make it sacred. Make it unbreakable. Every morning, revisit your why. Burn it into your mind until it becomes your armor and your weapon. When the storms come, and they will, it is your why that will keep your ambition burning when everyone else's fire goes out. Daily meditation. Repeat this to yourself in the mirror every morning with unflinching conviction. I was not born to apologize for my fire. I was born to conquer with it. Do not say it passively. Do not whisper it like a wish. Say it like a command, like a declaration of war, like a vow sealed in blood. Closing challenge. Starting today, reclaim your ambition without hesitation. Set goals that terrify you. Speak only in the language of certainty. Study the greats until you realize you are one of them in the making. Sever yourself from the judgment of the weak. Anchor your ambition in a purpose so powerful, it shakes your very soul. Begin the work now. Begin the battle now. Because your destiny will not wait, and history has no sympathy for the timid. Lesson 2. Master the weapon of energy. Summary. Before you open your mouth, before you utter a single word, the world already knows who you are. Energy is the true language of power. It is the invisible sword you carry into every interaction, every room, every battlefield. Mastering this weapon is not optional. It is mandatory, because your energy either commands respect, seizes opportunity, and bends reality toward your will, or it repels, weakens, and condemns you to obscurity. You cannot hide your inner state. You radiate it at all times. Either you are a transmitter of strength, or you are a broadcast tower of fear. There is no middle ground. Understand the laws of unspoken influence. Human beings are not creatures of logic. They are creatures of instinct, of emotion, of subconscious reaction. Before you say a word, they already feel your presence. They already detect whether you are weak or strong. They already decide whether to respect you, fear you, dismiss you, or follow you. Words can deceive, but energy does not lie. If you project anxiety, neediness, or doubt, no speech, no credential, no external display will save you. If you project certainty, calmness, and command, no obstacle will stand long before you. Energy precedes everything. It is the foundation of all influence. Build the internal fortress. To master your energy, you must first build an inner world that cannot be shaken, an emotional fortress from which you operate. This means learning to remain unmoved by external chaos. It means severing your dependence on circumstances for your mood. It means refusing to let fear, anger, or insecurity dictate your vibration. Start every day by centering yourself in stillness. 5 minutes of visualization. 5 minutes of controlled breathing. 5 minutes of affirming your indifference to external drama. You do not chase energy. You generate it. You control it. You weaponize it. Before you speak to another human being each morning, you must already be radiating the state you choose, not the state the world tries to impose on you. Master your physical presence. Energy is not just internal. It manifests through your body like smoke reveals fire. Train your posture to speak dominance before your mouth ever opens. Stand tall. Square your shoulders. Move with deliberate, slow gestures. Own the space you occupy. Your walk, your stillness, your eye contact. They must all project one message. I am not here to beg. I am not here to submit. I am here to command. Practice this daily. You are not pretending. You are unveiling the conqueror that has always been inside you. Engineer positive contagion. Understand this truth. Energy is contagious. When you master your energy, you begin to infect others without saying a word. You can uplift them. You can embolden them. You can make them crave your approval, your leadership, your vision. But you can also infect them with weakness if you fail. If you radiate doubt, you poison every mission you touch. If you radiate fear, you cripple your own armies before the first battle begins. You must become ruthless with your own vibration. You must guard it like a king guards his crown. Radiate certainty, radiate strength, radiate calmness under pressure. Radiate ambition so pure it burns in the eyes of everyone who meets you. Command the room without saying a word. Imagine walking into every room and owning it, not by arrogance, not by noise, but by silent gravitational pull. This is not fantasy. This is energy mastery. When you enter a space, you are sending a clear signal. You either say, I belong here, with your energy, or you say, please accept me, with your weakness. One message builds empires. The other invites destruction. Practice presence every day. Stand in rooms alone and practice filling the space with nothing but your stillness. Walk into mundane places, stores, coffee shops, offices, and practice projecting silent confidence. Own your breath. Own your gaze. Own your stillness. Own your space. The world rewards those who act as if they already own it. Daily meditation. Repeat this to yourself each morning before stepping into the battlefield of life. I command the energy in every room I enter. I reflect no weakness. I embody unstoppable force. Say it with no hesitation. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until the ground itself seems to shift beneath your feet when you move. Closing challenge. Starting now, become the master of your energy. Stop waiting for confidence. Stop waiting for good moods. Stop waiting for the world to validate you. Generate the state you choose. Sharpen your internal world until no storm can shake it. Sharpen your physical presence until it speaks louder than words. Become the one others instinctively follow. Become the one whose very presence commands attention. Become the one who makes others stronger simply by standing in the same room. Because if you cannot master the energy you broadcast, you will never master the future you dream of. The world is not waiting. The battlefield is already in motion. Move now. Command now. Conquer now. Lesson 3. Burn the past to free your future. Summary. Your past is a prison you willingly carry. Every mistake, every betrayal, every failure, you drag them like rusted chains, wondering why your progress is slow, wondering why the future slips through your fingers. The truth is brutal and simple. You cannot build an empire with hands chained to the corpses of yesterday. You cannot soar while carrying the dead weight of who you used to be. The past is over. It must be burned without mercy. Not forgotten, transcended. You are not here to relive old wounds. You are here to forge new victories. Understand the true cost of carrying the past. Every second you waste replaying what hurt you. Every moment you wallow in what broke you. Every hour spent trying to rewrite history inside your mind is stolen from your destiny. It is stolen from the new life you were meant to forge. It is stolen from the empire you were born to build. The dead cannot lead the living. Your former self cannot command your future. You must bury the old you without ceremony. You must let the fires consume every version of yourself that was too weak, too afraid, too broken. There is no other way forward. The ritual of destruction. You must perform an act of conscious destruction. Not symbolic, not metaphorical, real. Take out a piece of paper. Write down every past failure that haunts you. Write down every betrayal that hardened you. Write down every mistake you still secretly punish yourself for. Name them. Drag them into the light. Face them without flinching. Then, without hesitation, burn the paper. Light the match. Watch the smoke rise. Say aloud as it burns, I owe nothing to the past. I serve only the future. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Feel the chains snapping. You are no longer a prisoner. You are no longer chained to an old identity. You are free to become something greater. Kill the ghosts at the root. Burning the paper is the beginning. But the ghosts of your past will try to crawl back. They will whisper at night. They will rise when you hesitate, when you fear, when you stumble. When they come, you must respond with ruthless discipline. Do not entertain memories of defeat. Do not revisit conversations that humiliated you. Do not replay betrayals like a broken record. When the past rises, you do not argue with it. You do not reason with it. You do not negotiate with it. You crush it. You say aloud, that is not me anymore. And you move forward without looking back. The past has no power unless you feed it. Starve it. Starve it until it withers into nothingness. Build the new identity brick by brick. After burning the past, you must not remain empty. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not consciously build a new identity, the old one will creep back in. You must replace every broken piece of who you were with a deliberate, forged version of who you choose to become. Every action you take, every decision you make, every thought you entertain, it must align with the future you have claimed. You do not act as the wounded version of yourself anymore. You act as the conqueror you are becoming. Small decisions matter. Tiny disciplines matter. Tiny acts of courage matter. Brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day, you are building a new fortress of self. Do not betray it. Do not revert. Do not relapse into the comfort of the wounded past. You have burned your ships. There is no retreat, only advancement, only conquest. Daily meditation. Each morning, declare this truth to yourself. I am not my past. I am not my scars. I am not my failures. I am the architect of my future, and I build it with fire and blood. Say it with the tone of a general rallying an army. Say it with the conviction of one who knows there is no going back. Say it until the ghosts of your past shrivel and die. Closing challenge. Starting today, you will no longer carry the past like a corpse on your back. You will no longer curse your future by worshiping your failures. You will perform the ritual of destruction. You will sever yourself from your history. You will declare war on the version of yourself that was too weak to survive. And you will rise. Every moment you waste looking backward is a moment stolen from the empire you must build. There is no more looking back. There is only the fire ahead. There is only the climb. There is only the conquest. Burn the past. Forge the future. Or be buried with the ghosts you refuse to let die. The choice is yours. Lesson 4. Craft the 5-year vision. Summary. You are either living by design or by default. You are either marching toward a future you have deliberately built or being dragged by forces you do not control. There is no neutral ground. The absence of a clear vision does not make you free. It makes you prey. The scattered, the distracted, the short-sighted, they are crushed beneath the boots of those who plan farther, think deeper, and move faster. To reclaim your destiny, you must craft a 5-year vision so clear, so vivid, so undeniable that it pulls you forward, even when your body screams to quit. You must see your empire before a single stone is laid. You must live inside the future you demand, while the rest of the world is still sleepwalking. The weak drift, the strong design. Understand this. The majority of people are not living. They are reacting. They stumble from crisis to crisis, paycheck to paycheck, year to year, with no blueprint, no compass, no grand design. They blame luck. They blame circumstance. They blame the world. But the truth is simpler and harsher. They never bothered to design the future they wanted, and so they were handed the future they deserved. You must not become one of them. If you do not engineer your life with ruthless clarity, you will be absorbed into someone else's design, someone else's plan, someone else's ambition. Your life is a kingdom. Either you rule it with vision and iron will, or you are ruled. The architecture of power. Begin today. Sit alone in silence. No distractions, no noise, no input from the broken world. Ask yourself brutal questions. Where will I live in 5 years? What will my health look like? What will my finances look like? What empire will I have built? What kind of people will stand by me? What kind of impact will my existence leave behind? Write it all down. Not vague dreams, not hollow fantasies. Concrete details, numbers, locations, outcomes. The weak say, I want to be successful. The conqueror says, I will build a $10 million company in 5 years, headquartered in this city, dominating this industry. The weak say, I want to be happy. The conqueror says, I will forge a life of discipline, health, and fulfillment, surrounded only by warriors who match my ambition. Vague goals produce vague results. Clarity creates inevitability. Reverse engineer the march. Once your 5-year empire is mapped, the work truly begins. You must break the vision down into milestones, 1-year markers, quarterly battles, monthly conquests, daily non-negotiables. You must know precisely what must happen every month, every week, every day to close the distance between you and your vision. Every day that does not serve the 5-year mission must be burned without mercy. Every distraction, every excuse, every toxic influence must be cut at the root. You are no longer wandering. You are marching. And every step is a calculated act of war against the future that would enslave you. Protect the vision at all costs. Understand this. The world will try to infect your vision with doubt. They will mock your ambition. They will tell you to be realistic. They will beg you to slow down, to fit in, to stay small. This is the death call of the mediocre. Ignore it. Crush it. Silence it within yourself and without. Every day, you must revisit your vision. You must see it in your mind's eye as vividly as the ground beneath your feet. You must feel it in your blood. You must let it harden into something unbreakable. Treat your 5-year vision like a sacred oath, a covenant signed in your own blood, a promise you will keep or die trying. Become the living embodiment of your future. Your vision is not something you chase. It is something you become. Starting today, you must begin to walk, think, speak, and move like the future version of yourself. If your 5-year self is powerful, disciplined, respected, then you act powerful, disciplined, respected now, not someday, not when it feels right, not when others approve. Now your habits must match your vision. Your energy must match your vision. Your decisions must match your vision. Every time you face a choice, ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my vision or further away? If it weakens you, cut it. If it strengthens you, double down. There are no neutral moves. Everything either builds the empire or burns it. Daily meditation. Repeat this every morning as you begin your march through the battlefield of life. My future is a fortress I build daily. Every action is a brick. Every decision is a hammer. I will carve my destiny from stone and fire, and the world will kneel before the empire I have claimed. Say it until you believe it. Say it until the bones in your body vibrate with it. Say it until your very presence terrifies the forces of weakness. Closing challenge. Starting today, you will stop drifting. You will stop reacting. You will stop living like a leaf blown by the winds of chance. You will craft your 5-year vision with ruthless precision. You will break it into daily warfare. You will march without hesitation. You will defend your vision with your blood, your bones, your very soul if necessary. Because this is not a game. This is not a fantasy. This is war for your future. The empires of tomorrow are being built today by the few who have the courage to see what others refuse to imagine. Be one of the few. Be one of the architects of destiny, or be forgotten. Lesson 5. Embrace adversity as sacred initiation. Summary. Adversity is not a punishment. It is not a misfortune. It is not some cruel mistake in the order of the universe. It is sacred. It is the forge. It is the ritual of passage designed to test whether you are worthy of the destiny you seek. Understand this. No one escapes it. No warrior, no emperor, no legend has ever risen without first being broken, humbled, and remade through fire. Adversity is not the thing that stands between you and your greatness. It is the thing that creates your greatness. Your task is not to avoid it. Your task is to embrace it, to crave it, to lean into it with the cold hunger of one who knows that every scar earned is another step toward immortality. The illusion of the easy path. The world will sell you the fantasy of comfort. The illusion that you can achieve greatness without suffering, without sacrifice, without nights of agony, without moments of utter doubt. They will tell you that you should be happy all the time, that you should seek ease, that you should eliminate hardship from your life. They are lying. They are selling you chains wrapped in velvet. The easy path ends in mediocrity, regret, and decay. The easy path ends with your name forgotten, your dreams dust. The hard path, the path of adversity, ends with your name carved into stone. It ends with a legacy that cannot be erased. Choose the hard path. Choose the sacred fire. Rewire your relationship to pain. You have been trained to flinch from pain, to fear discomfort, to avoid failure. This conditioning is a poison that must be ripped out by the roots. From this day forward, you will view pain differently. Pain is not a warning to retreat. Pain is a signal of growth. Pain is the alarm that tells you you are pressing against your limits, and that your limits are beginning to crack. When you suffer, you are not dying. You are shedding the weaker layers of yourself. You are molting. You are evolving. You must become addicted to this process. You must crave it. You must see pain as a sacred offering. Proof that you are being initiated into the rare brotherhood and sisterhood of those who did not run. Pain is the tax you pay for power. Pay it willingly. Treat every failure as data. Failure is not an indictment of your worth. Failure is not a sign to quit. Failure is a report, a map, a teacher. When you fail, you gain something most people will never possess. Information about the enemy. Information about yourself. Information about the next step forward. The weak personalize failure. They turn it into shame. They collapse under it. The strong analyze failure. They study it like a general studies a battlefield. They extract every ounce of wisdom from it. They adapt. They evolve. They come back sharper, harder, smarter. Understand? Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the necessary staircase to it. Seek voluntary adversity. Do not wait for adversity to find you. Seek it out. Build it into your daily life. Train your body beyond comfort. Train your mind beyond convenience. Train your discipline beyond excuses. Take cold showers. Wake up before the world stirs. Fast longer than feels easy. Read longer than feels fun. Work harder than feels sustainable. Why? Because self-imposed adversity toughens you for the real battles. Because when life strikes, you will not crumble like the soft masses. Because you will have already lived inside the fire. Because you will already know how to suffer with purpose, with pride, with strength. Voluntary hardship is the secret training ground of conquerors. Use it. Face betrayal, loss, and setbacks. Like a warrior, you will be betrayed. You will be disappointed. You will lose battles you thought you had already won. Expect it, but do not cry for sympathy. Do not waste breath cursing fate. Do not wallow like a child denied his toys. Face betrayal with steel. Face loss with laughter. Face setbacks with the cold calculation of a general who knows the war is far from over. You do not stop when struck. You adjust your armor and strike back harder. Every betrayal is a gift. It strips away the weak from your circle. It reveals who you can trust and who must be discarded. Every loss is a sharpening stone. Every setback is an invitation to evolve into something more deadly. Take the gifts adversity gives you and wield them without mercy. Daily meditation. Repeat this to yourself as the sun rises and as the storms come. Pain sharpens me. Struggle forges me. Adversity is the altar where I sacrifice weakness. I do not flinch. I do not flee. I rise. Say it with the solemnity of a soldier preparing for war. Say it until your blood believes it. Say it until the storms that terrify others are the winds that carry you forward. Closing challenge. Starting today, you will cease fearing adversity. You will cease whining about the hardness of the path. You will cease expecting life to be fair. You will embrace adversity as your sacred trial. You will rewire your mind to crave the fire that others run from. You will study every failure like a commander studying the enemy's weaknesses. And you will grow. Every day you endure what others flee from, you will rise while they fall. Every time you suffer with discipline, you will forge a strength they cannot match. The weak will be broken by adversity. You will be crowned by it. The trials are not punishment. They are the price of the throne, and you will pay it without hesitation. Lesson 6. Meditate on death and live with urgency. Summary. Death is not a distant threat. It is not some shadow lurking on the far horizon. It is here, now breathing down your neck with every passing second. Most people live as if they are immortal. They waste days, months, years, betting foolishly that tomorrow will always be available. They live without urgency, without hunger, without reverence for the brutal finality of time, and so they die having never truly lived. If you wish to rise above the nameless masses, if you wish to seize your destiny before it slips through your fingers, you must forge a new relationship with death. You must make death your advisor, your ally, your constant companion. You must let the reality of your mortality burn away your excuses, your procrastination, your cowardice. Only then will you truly be alive. Only then will you move with the speed and ferocity that greatness demands. The comforting lie of someday. The world is addicted to the lie of someday. Someday I will chase my dream. Someday I will start building. Someday I will become the person I was meant to be. But someday does not exist. It is a myth. A mirage designed to sedate you until it is too late. The truth is merciless. All you have is now. This moment. This breath. Every second you delay, death draws closer. Every hesitation is a surrender to the grave. You are not promised old age. You are not promised next year. You are not even promised tomorrow morning. If you do not act now, fully, ruthlessly, decisively, you are living in a fantasy more dangerous than any nightmare. Death is the great clarifier. When you meditate on death daily, your priorities crystallize. Trivial distractions evaporate. Petty fears lose their power. Doubt shrinks. You stop wasting time on meaningless battles. You stop entertaining the opinions of fools. You stop indulging in laziness and excuses. You realize how precious every hour is, how sacred every action is, how urgent every decision must become. Death strips away illusion. Death forces clarity. The question is simple. If you knew your time was running out, because it is, what would you do differently? What would you stop tolerating? What dreams would you stop delaying? Answer honestly. Then act like your life depends on it. With your daily advisor. Each morning, before you check your phone, before you speak a word to anyone, sit in silence. Close your eyes. Picture the reality of your death. Not abstractly, not philosophically, viscerally. See the day your life ends. See the things you never built if you waste your chance. See the people you disappointed by playing small. See the dreams that died unborn inside you. Feel the coldness of that final moment. Then open your eyes and swear an oath. Not today. Today I conquer. Today I build. Today I move with the speed of one who knows the clock is bleeding out. Death must not paralyze you. Death must ignite you. It is the ultimate deadline, the final battlefield. And if you learn to live with it whispering in your ear, you will move faster, fight harder, build stronger, and rise farther than those who still dream they have time. Cut ruthlessly. Act relentlessly. Urgency demands brutality. You must prune every useless obligation from your life without mercy. You must cut every relationship that drains your energy. You must eliminate every habit that weakens you. Ask yourself throughout the day, if I were to die soon, would this action matter? If the answer is no, abandon it, burn it, erase it. Your time is a sacred weapon. Wield it like a sword, not a sponge. Every day must become a campaign. Every action must serve the empire you are building. Every breath must be spent in service of your ultimate mission. Nothing less is worthy of the limited hours you have left. Build as if the clock were counting down. Because it is. When you accept death fully, your work transforms. You no longer chase distractions. You no longer live for comfort. You no longer tolerate mediocrity in yourself or others. You build as if you are running out of time. Because you are. You build as if you are trying to carve your legacy into the stone of the world before the sands of your life run out. Because you are. You do not wait for motivation. You do not wait for opportunity. You do not wait for approval. You move. You strike. You build. And with every project finished, with every battle won, with every dream brought into brutal, undeniable reality, you spit in death's face and say, "Not yet. My work is not done. My fire has not been extinguished." Daily meditation. Every morning, sit in silence and declare this to yourself. Death is near. Therefore, I move faster, harder, and more relentlessly toward the empire I was born to build. I waste nothing. I fear nothing. I live with fire in my blood because time is bleeding from my hands. Do not say it like a wish. Say it like a soldier sharpening his blade before battle. Say it like a king marching to war. Say it like a warrior refusing to die before his mission is complete. Closing challenge. Starting today, you will stop living as if you are immortal. You will stop pretending that you can delay your destiny until some perfect moment that will never come. You will make death your daily advisor. You will build faster. You will act with greater urgency. You will cut more ruthlessly. You will rise more ferociously. Because death is coming, and you will not meet it as a coward who wasted his life. You will meet it as a warrior with blood on his hands, scars on his soul, and a legacy so vast that death itself will tremble to claim you. The weak die forgotten. The strong die fulfilled. Choose your path. Choose it now, because the clock is already ticking. To the returning warriors of the GrimFace movement, we see you. We honor you. You have chosen the harder path. The path of fire, of discipline, of relentless creation. You are not the weak who wait for permission. You are not the soft who beg the world for scraps. You are the architects of a future the masses will never touch. Every battle you fight, every scar you earn, strengthens the legion. Every day you live by higher code, you drive a spear into the heart of mediocrity. The world does not yet understand the force gathering here, but they will. Soon enough, they will. To the new warriors, this is not a place for comfort. This is not a place for excuses. This is not a place for the faint of heart. GrimFace is a brotherhood and sisterhood for those who have decided that enough is enough, that the time for hesitation is over, that the time for building, fighting, and conquering has begun. If you are tired of soft lies, if you are tired of living below your potential, if you are ready to bleed for a future you can be proud of, then subscribe to the GrimFace movement. Commit yourself to the discipline. Commit yourself to the fire. Commit yourself to the brutal, beautiful work of forging the life you were meant to live. We are not here to blend in. We are here to stand apart. We are here to conquer. Welcome to the ranks of the GrimFace warriors. Your war begins now. The truth is simple, but it is merciless. You have been deafened, not by a single blow, not by some violent eruption, but by a slow, deliberate drowning. Every scroll of your screen, every empty conversation, every borrowed opinion, layer after layer, the noise has wrapped itself around your mind, until the one voice that matters, your own, has been reduced to a whisper. And now, you cannot hear yourself anymore, can you? Not your true self, not the primal burning core that was born into this world with a purpose so fierce that if you ever unleashed it fully, the world would tremble under your feet. No, that voice has been buried. And the tragedy? It wasn't stolen. It was surrendered. Surrendered piece by piece, in the name of belonging, comfort, distraction. They didn't have to break you. You broke yourself. But hear me now. It does not have to end this way. You can still reclaim it. You can still rise. But make no mistake, it will not be easy. Because the fog that has blinded you is thick. It is ancient. It is rooted in every system that seeks to control you, to mold you, to reduce you to another echo in the endless static of mediocrity. You were born a singular force. Your DNA, your mind, your experiences, all carved uniquely by time, by suffering, by destiny. There is no other you. There will never be another you. You are a weapon that is yet to be forged. And yet, here you stand, rusting, waiting, doubting, because you have forgotten the oldest truth of all, that greatness is not given, it is taken by those savage enough to look inward, to slash through the noise, to rip the false layers from their flesh until only the raw, burning soul remains. But beware. This is a war of attrition, not a single battle, but a relentless siege. You will not find yourself in a day. You will not uncover your life's purpose in a month. You will not carve your name into history because you felt inspired for an afternoon. No, this is the work of years, of blood, of brutal honesty, of battling your own illusions until they shatter and you are left naked before yourself. You must cut deeper than you ever have. Through the borrowed dreams, through the lies you told yourself to feel safe, through the carefully constructed image that pleases the world but sickens your spirit. And when you cut deep enough, when you dig with savage patience through the ruins of who you thought you were, you will find it. The seed, the original voice, the one that whispered before the world ever screamed. And from that seed, you must grow, not with shallow roots, but with roots that claw into the very bedrock of your soul. You must apprentice yourself to your own nature, because without knowing yourself, every path you take will be a betrayal. Every effort you make will rot into resentment. Every so-called success will turn to ash in your mouth. And I tell you now, you will see others rise faster. You will see the impatient ones gather riches and applause while you are still digging through the dirt of your own becoming. But understand this, they are building their castles on sand. You are building your empire on stone. And when the floods come, and they will come, their towers will crumble. But yours will stand for generations. You must master yourself through the crucible of craft, because the self alone, without purpose, rots, and the craft alone, without self, is hollow. They are one. Mastery of craft is the battlefield where mastery of self is won. The piano, the sword, the book, the business, the forge, they are not the goal. They are the proving grounds. They are the merciless trainers that demand your discipline, your humility, your sacrifice, and in return, they give you yourself. You cannot fake it. You cannot shortcut it. You cannot buy it. You must bleed for it. The craft will break you. It will humble you. It will reveal every weakness you wish to hide. And it is precisely in that pain, in that grinding repetition, in those quiet moments when no one is watching and doubt drips from the ceiling like water torture, that you will forge yourself into something unbreakable. Mastery demands a price. The price is everything you are not. The false selves, the laziness, the excuses, the cowardice. They must all be sacrificed on the altar of who you are destined to become. And yet, you live in a time where this sacred process is more difficult than ever. Every second, 1,000 voices pull at you. Every second, they offer you easier roads, shallower pleasures, quicker rewards. Every second you delay your true path, the fog thickens, the chains tighten. The voice of your soul grows fainter, until one day, you wake up, and it is gone, and you will never even realize the exact moment you became a ghost. Do not let that happen to you. Rage against the pull of mediocrity. Refuse the counterfeit lives they offer you. Shut out the noise. Starve the distractions. Burn your false selves to the ground, and begin the climb. Silent, ruthless, unstoppable. Journal your truth. Study your cravings. Feed your obsessions. Harden your skills. Sharpen your instincts. Until the outer world, their trends, their judgments, their lies, mean less than nothing. Because you will have built something they cannot touch. A sovereign soul. A life on your terms. A purpose that cannot be bought, silenced, or stolen. This is not a life for the weak. This is not a path for the easily entertained. This is the path of warriors, the path of creators, the path of those willing to walk through hell itself to find the heaven hidden within their own spirit. If you dare to take this path, you will bleed. You will fall. You will suffer losses so great they will haunt your dreams. But you will rise. And you will rise as someone real. Not a product of culture. Not a slave to approval. Not a flickering light in the fog. But a burning inferno of purpose so pure that the world will have no choice but to recognize it. And when they look at you, they will not understand. They will ask how you did it. They will beg for the shortcut. They will pray for the hack. They will curse your name behind closed doors because they did not have the spine to walk the fire you walked. Let them, because you will know a secret they never will, that your life was not given to you. It was earned, one brutal, beautiful step at a time. Cut through the smoke. Reclaim your fate. Or be forgotten among the billions of lost souls who chose the easy death of comfort over the hard life of meaning. The battlefield is within you. The war is waiting. And the world waits too, to see if you will rise or vanish. Choose. Lesson 1. Silence the noise. Reclaim your mind. The first battle is fought in silence, and it is the battle most will lose. Look around you. This world was not built to make you powerful. It was built to make you compliant, to keep you distracted, to keep you chasing illusions while your true power withers away inside of you. The endless flood of information, the manufactured outrage, the dopamine drip of validation and scandal and trends and outrage. It is all designed for one purpose: to drown out the only signal that matters, the voice of your true self. Understand this. Every second you remain plugged into their system, you are handing over pieces of your mind. You are making yourself smaller, weaker, more hollow. You are becoming a pawn in someone else's game. And the most brutal truth? You won't even notice it happening. You will mistake your anxiety for ambition. You will mistake your scrolling for learning. You will mistake your exhaustion for progress. But all that will remain of you is a hollowed-out shell, a puppet pulled by invisible strings. Silence is not optional. It is mandatory. It is survival. Why silence? Because only in silence can you hear yourself again. Because your true desires, your true instincts, your true destiny, they do not scream. They whisper. And whispers cannot survive in a storm of static. Your true calling is buried beneath layers of voices that are not yours. The voices of your parents telling you to be practical. The voices of your peers pressuring you to conform. The voices of marketers programming you to crave what you do not need. The voices of cowards convincing you that greatness is selfish. And unless you deliberately destroy the noise, you will never know what was truly yours to begin with. How to wage war on the noise. This will not be a polite disengagement. This is a scorched earth campaign. You must become ruthless. Destroy the weak points. Delete the apps designed to steal your focus. Social media, sensationalized news, notifications. If you cannot delete them, bury them. Lock them behind barriers that make access painful. Create a zone of sovereignty. Design a sacred space where your mind can breathe. No screens, no background noise, no interruptions. A place where only you exist. Impose a blackout window. Every day there must be hours, not minutes, of total disconnection. Morning and night are sacred. Begin and end your day on your terms, not the world's. Journal like a warrior. Each day, write. Not for vanity, not for followers. Write as an act of rebellion, to reclaim your thoughts, to separate your voice from the voices that invaded it. Embrace the withdrawal. Make no mistake, silence will hurt at first. You will feel anxious, restless, lost. Good. That is the sickness leaving your mind. Do not run from it. Do not soothe it with more noise. Stand in the silence and listen. The consequences of failure. Most will never win this battle, and they will pay the price. A life spent chasing goals that are not theirs. Dreams that rot before they are even born. A gnawing emptiness that no amount of success, wealth, or fame can fill. They will build entire lives on foundations made of static. And at the end, when the noise finally fades and the illusions fall away, they will realize the truth, that they never really lived at all, that they were only echoes, never the voice. You must not become one of them. You must silence the world before the world silences you, the mind you reclaim. When the noise falls away, something extraordinary happens. The whispers grow stronger. Your instincts sharpen. Your intuition ignites. You begin to move through the world with an unseen power, the power of clarity. You will not be faster than others. You will not be louder than others. You will simply be more real than others. And reality bends to those who are real. Your energy will no longer leak out into 1,000 pointless directions. It will flow like a blade, focused, cutting, undeniable. When others are lost in the static, you will be a force. When others scatter, you will rise. When others beg for direction, you will be direction. Final command for Lesson 1. This is not a one-time purge. This is not a New Year's resolution. This is a permanent declaration of war. Every day is a battle for your mind. Every day, you must choose sovereignty over slavery. Every day, you must silence the noise or be swallowed by it. Choose. Because if you do not control what enters your mind, then someone else will. And if someone else controls your mind, they already control your life. Cut through the smoke. Reclaim your mind. Or die an echo. Lesson 2. Dig into the ashes. Uncover the original seed. The ashes are all that remain. After the noise has been silenced, after the battle for your mind has begun, you will find yourself standing in a wasteland. Where once there was chaos and false purpose, now there is only emptiness. And this is where most turn back. They mistake the emptiness for failure. They do not realize it is the doorway, the threshold. Because hidden in those ashes, if you have the will to search, is the original seed of who you were always meant to become. A seed trampled by the world. A seed buried beneath expectations, betrayals, false starts, and lies. But it has survived, and it waits for you. But you must be willing to dig. Not once, not for a weekend, every single day. You must mine the ruins of yourself with bloody hands until the truth is uncovered. Why you must unearth the original seed. You cannot build a life worth living on false ground. If you do not find your true nature, the instincts, the passions, the hungers that belong solely to you, then everything you build will crumble. Your work will turn into a prison. Your ambitions will sour into regrets. Your victories will taste like dust. Without the original seed, all effort is wasted. But once you find it, once you hold it in your hands and recognize it, it becomes your compass, your weapon, your fire. You will know, with unbreakable certainty, who you are, and no storm will move you again. The brutal work of digging. The world will not hand you your true self. It will bury it deeper every day you remain passive. You must take up the shovel and dig. You must sift through the debris of your life with relentless honesty. What moments have made you feel most alive? Not what made you money. Not what earned you applause. What made your blood roar in your veins? What angers you so deeply you can barely speak of it? Your anger points to your boundaries. It points to what you were born to protect. What work would you continue to do, even if no one paid you? Even if no one applauded? Even if no one noticed? What do you hate about yourself that you secretly know is a strength misused? Rage, stubbornness, obsession, twisted into vices by a world that fears power. What dreams did you bury because you were told they were impossible, childish, or selfish? Those dreams are not dead. They are waiting for resurrection. This is not pleasant work. This is not pretty. You will find parts of yourself you despise. You will uncover wounds that never healed. You will face the brutal realization that you betrayed yourself for years. Good. Because truth, not comfort, is the currency of real power. How to begin digging into the ashes. This is not a mental exercise. It must be made physical. Create a battle journal, a notebook dedicated solely to the war for your true self. This is not for posting. This is not for sharing. This is for bleeding. Write every day without mercy. Sit alone. Set a timer, 20 minutes minimum, and write. Everything you love, everything you hate, everything you regret, every suppressed dream, every abandoned hope. Spill the poison onto the page. Purge yourself. Notice the patterns, the things that repeat, the cravings that keep clawing their way to the surface, the obsessions you cannot kill. These are the roots of your seed. Protect what you find. When you glimpse the seed, even the faintest shape of it, guard it with your life. The world will try to steal it again. Doubt will try to strangle it. Guard it like a dying fire in a world of endless storms. The consequences of refusing to dig. If you refuse to dig into the ashes, if you distract yourself again, if you flee back into the noise, then know this: you are not choosing safety, you are choosing death. A slow, creeping death of the spirit. A life of surface pleasures and inner decay. A life where every achievement feels hollow. Because you built it for someone else's soul, not your own. You will be haunted. You will feel it. The quiet whisper at 2 a.m. that says, "This isn't who you were meant to be." And you will never silence that voice. Not with success. Not with love. Not with time. It will follow you into the grave. The life you build from the seed. When you uncover your original seed, and you choose to protect it, and you choose to build upon it, a different life opens before you. You move with a different energy. You make decisions with a brutal clarity that shatters fear. You attract allies not by manipulation, but by the sheer gravitational force of your authenticity. The world tries to bend you. You refuse. The world tries to label you. You transcend it. The world tries to destroy you. And you smile because you were never theirs to destroy. The seed becomes your sword. The seed becomes your shield. The seed becomes your kingdom. And from that seed, you will grow an empire that the world cannot touch. Final command for lesson 2. You must dig into the ashes. You must face the wreckage. You must unearth what was never meant to die. Because buried inside the ruins of who you were supposed to be is the key to who you were born to become. Do not stop digging. Do not lose heart. The ashes may be thick. The soil may be hard. The whispers may be faint. But they are there, waiting for the warrior brave enough to listen, waiting for the force savage enough to rise. Cut through the smoke, dig into the ashes, and reclaim the seed that was always yours. Lesson 3. Choose the craft. Forge the battlefield. The search must end. The war must begin. After the ashes have been sifted, after the original seed has been uncovered, there comes a moment, a line you must cross. It is not enough to know who you are. It is not enough to whisper your dreams into the dark. It is not enough to understand your nature in theory. You must choose your battlefield, because identity without action rots. Purpose without execution dies. Potential without war becomes poison. You must choose your craft, the arena where the savage truth of who you are will be tested, forged, and weaponized. Until you pick the ground upon which you will bleed, you are still standing still drifting, still vulnerable. And drifting is death. Why you must choose a craft. Your mind was not built for endless options. Your soul was not designed to wander forever. You are a weapon in potential form, but a weapon with no battlefield, no target, no cause, rusts into nothingness. Choosing a craft forces reality to meet you. It forces your vague ambitions to solidify. It forces your dreams to face gravity. Without a craft, your discipline remains hypothetical. Your self-mastery remains untested. Your purpose remains a fantasy. The world does not reward fantasy. It only rewards action. And craft is the first action. The nature of the craft you must choose. It does not matter what the craft is, so long as it demands everything from you. It must require discipline. It must require sacrifice. It must reveal your weaknesses. It must humble you daily. The craft is the mirror. The craft is the fire. The craft is the battlefield, where the empire inside you is either forged or abandoned. Your craft could be writing words that tear through souls, building businesses that reshape cities, forging iron into works of destruction and beauty, wielding your body as a weapon of art and war, leading others into battles they would not dare fight without you. The surface does not matter. The depth matters. If it demands everything from you, mind, body, soul, then it is worthy. If it does not, discard it. You are not here for hobbies. You are here for destiny. How to choose your craft. You already know. You have always known. You knew it when you were young, before the noise drowned you. You glimpsed it in the moments when you forgot to be afraid. You felt it in the obsessions you could not kill, no matter how much the world tried to beat them out of you. But to choose your craft in the light of day, you must face yourself without illusion. Ask yourself, what would I build if no one ever saw it? What would I master even if it never made me rich? What could I spend 10 years on and still be hungry for more? What battlefield feels like a sacred war, not a chore? The craft is not a means to an end. The craft is the end itself. If you choose based on money, fame, status, you have already lost. The craft will crush you because it demands love born of suffering, not lust born of greed. Choose with ruthless honesty. Choose with savage clarity. And once chosen, burn the bridges, seal the exits, bind yourself to it with blood. There is no turning back. The consequences of choosing poorly. If you choose wrongly, if you choose what is easy instead of what is necessary, if you choose what is expected instead of what is real, you will suffer the worst fate of all. You will succeed at the wrong thing. You will become skilled at a life that feels like a cage. You will rise in a kingdom you despise. You will gather applause that echoes like mockery in your ears. And every day, your soul will rot a little more, until one day you realize the life you built is the tomb you will die in. You must not let this happen. Choosing your craft is a sacred act. It is the moment you declare, this is the battlefield where I will rise or fall. This is the war that will shape me into what I was born to become. Choose like your life depends on it, because it does. The craft is the battlefield of self. Understand this forever. You do not choose the craft to master the craft. You choose the craft to master yourself. The repetitions, the failures, the humiliations, the breakthroughs, the endless hours when no one is watching. All of it is designed to break the weak parts of you. All of it is designed to reveal the unbreakable parts within. Your craft will demand patience when you are restless, focus when you are distracted, bravery when you are terrified, persistence when you are exhausted. It will demand your soul's currency, time, pain, faith, discipline, and in return, it will give you access to power you cannot yet imagine. The power to move through the world as one who has paid the price. The power to speak with the authority of one who has bled for their voice. The power to walk alone, without fear, because you have already faced yourself and survived. This is why the battlefield matters. This is why the craft matters. You are not here to find yourself. You are here to forge yourself through fire and war. Final command. For lesson 3, choose your craft. Bind yourself to it. Bleed for it. Let it humble you. Let it break you. Let it shape you into the weapon you were always meant to become. No more wandering. No more drifting. No more hoping. The war for your soul demands a battlefield. Choose it. Enter it. And fight until the only thing that remains is the truth you were born to unleash. Cut through the smoke. Forge the battlefield. and let the world either follow you or fear you. Lesson 4. Submit to the brutal apprenticeship. The war has only just begun. Choosing your craft is not the end of uncertainty. It is not the end of fear. It is not the beginning of ease. It is the beginning of war. The moment you choose your battlefield, the moment you pick your craft, the true battle begins. And it will not be the glorious march you imagined. It will not be a storybook montage of progress and praise. It will be a savage, brutal apprenticeship. A process designed not to celebrate you, but to break you, to expose you, to grind away every weakness until only what is real remains. And you must submit to it, not resist it, not negotiate with it, not pity yourself through it. You must kneel before the brutality of mastery and thank it for the chance to be forged. Why submission is necessary. Submission is a word the weak fear. They believe it means defeat. But submission, true submission to a worthy process, is not defeat. It is the only path to transformation. You do not conquer a craft. You do not impose your will on mastery. You bow your head. You bleed. You sacrifice your illusions, your arrogance, your laziness, your excuses, every false part of yourself, at the altar of greatness. You surrender the weakness to gain the strength. You surrender the fantasy to gain the truth. The apprenticeship phase is designed to kill who you are, so that you can be reborn as who you were meant to be. If you refuse to submit, you will never evolve. You will plateau. You will rot at the threshold. You will decay into bitter mediocrity, haunted by what could have been. The nature of the brutal apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is not glamorous. It is not romantic. It is not glorious. It is repetition until your mind screams. It is failure so complete you question your worth as a human being. It is watching others rise while you remain unseen. It is sacrificing comfort, validation, distraction, and praise for nothing but the savage hunger to improve. You will be anonymous. You will be overlooked. You will be misunderstood. Good. Because greatness is built in silence. It is built in the hours no one sees. It is built in the days when you have every reason to quit, and you keep moving anyway. How to submit to the brutal apprenticeship. This is not passive suffering. This is active war. You must choose to submit, daily, deliberately, ruthlessly. Crave repetition over novelty. Do not seek new tricks. Do not chase shiny tactics. Grind the basics until your hands bleed. Mastery is hidden in the monotony. Respect the limits of the craft. Every true craft has ancient rules, techniques, structures. Learn them. Honor them. Submit to them. Freedom comes only after obedience. Love the correction, hate the compliment. Praise makes you soft. Correction sharpens your blade. Seek the harsh feedback. Beg for it. Make it your fuel. Stay invisible longer than feels comfortable. Do not chase exposure. Do not chase applause. Stay in the shadows. Build your power where no one can see. Outlast the weak. Most will quit. Most will move on. Most will crumble. You must not. You must learn to love the grind others fear. You must learn to feast on the hours they cannot endure. The pain is the proof. Every time you feel humiliated by your own ignorance, every time you face a problem you cannot solve, every time your best effort fails and no one cares, understand this. That is the proof you are in the right place. That is the proof you are on the path the cowards flee. The more pain you endure without breaking, the more pressure you withstand without shattering, The more days you show up without applause, the deeper your roots grow. You are not falling behind. You are burrowing into the bedrock. And when the storms come, and they will come, you will not be moved. Because you were built in the fire they refused to enter. The consequences of failing to submit. If you resist the apprenticeship, if you chase shortcuts, if you demand rewards before you have earned scars, you will build a hollow empire. You will become what you hate. A pretender, a fraud, a monument to wasted potential. Your skills will be brittle. Your spirit will be shallow. Your victories will collapse at the first sign of pressure. And worst of all, you will know you betrayed yourself. No one else needs to see it. You will feel it, gnawing inside you. The knowledge that you had a chance to become something immortal, and you chose comfort instead. The reward of true apprenticeship. The rewards are not immediate. They are not cheap. But when you submit fully, when you endure the brutal apprenticeship without flinching, something irreversible happens. You change at the cellular level. You become what few ever become. A force others feel but cannot understand. A master of your craft and a master of your own mind. A creature of discipline, resilience, and ruthless calm. A living testament to the savage beauty of relentless devotion. You will not have to shout your value. It will radiate from you. It will shake the room when you enter. It will alter the path of your bloodline. Because you paid the price. Because you earned the right to call yourself a master. Final command for Lesson 4. Submit. Not once. Not for a season. Every day. Every hour. Every breath. Submit to the brutality. Submit to the repetition. Submit to the suffering that burns away the weakness and leaves only steel. You were not born to wander in circles. You were not born to live 100 half-lives. You were born to rise. You were born to conquer the chaos within you. You were born to forge a masterpiece from the ruins of your former self. But only if you are willing to kneel first. Only if you are willing to die to who you were. So you can be reborn into who you must become. Cut through the smoke. Submit to the brutal apprenticeship. And rise as something the world has not yet seen. Lesson 5. Build the empire of one. From the ashes, build. Once you have submitted to the brutal apprenticeship, once you have bled for your craft, once you have endured the long exile in the shadows, you stand at a new threshold. You are no longer a beginner. You are no longer a pretender. You are no longer seeking validation from the outside world. Now the real building begins. Not a building of monuments for others to applaud, but the construction of an empire that exists within you. Untouchable, unbreakable, unshakable. An empire of one. Because at the end of it all, when the world falls silent, the only kingdom that matters is the one you built inside yourself. Why you must build the empire of one. Without sovereignty over your own spirit, every success is hollow. Every triumph is temporary. Every victory is rented, not owned. If you do not rule yourself, then you will be ruled. By the crowd, by the trends, by the algorithms, by the moods and demands of lesser souls. The world is built to break those who have no empire within. But if you build an empire of one, no storm can move you. No betrayal can end you. No failure can define you. You will become a force, a law unto yourself, a sovereign being in a world of slaves. The nature of the empire of one. It is not physical. It is not built with concrete or gold. It is not measured by followers, by riches, by fame. It is invisible, and yet it changes everything. The empire of one is built from discipline that does not depend on motivation, purpose that does not crumble under doubt, values that do not bend to public opinion, strength that does not need applause, faith in yourself that survives every loss. It is the quiet, relentless fortress behind your eyes. It is the silent roar beneath your words. It is the unshakable gravity that pulls reality into alignment with your will. When you have the empire of one, you move through the world differently, not seeking approval, not fearing rejection, simply being, and forcing the world to either align with you or break against you. How to build the empire of one. It is not built overnight. It is not built when things are easy. It is built daily, in 1,000 unseen choices. Set unbreakable standards. Not goals, standards. How you behave when no one is watching. How you treat your word. How you show up, regardless of how you feel. Create and honor sacred rituals. Morning rituals. Training rituals. Craft rituals. Reflection rituals. These are the bricks of your empire. Without ritual, you are at the mercy of emotion. Hold the line against the outer world. Friends, family, society, they will try to sway you. They will try to infect you with their fear, their doubt, their weakness. Hold the line. Stand your ground. Bend for no one. Reward discipline, not outcomes. Celebrate the work, not the results. Applaud yourself for showing up, for enduring, for fighting. Outcomes are slaves to action. Trust the process. Dominate the process. Treat every day like a throne room. Every morning you wake, you enter your throne room. Act accordingly. Speak accordingly. Move accordingly. A king does not shuffle like a beggar. A queen does not whimper for scraps. You either reign or you serve. The consequences of failing to build. If you do not build your empire, someone else will build it for you. And you will not be the king. You will be the servant. You will serve the trends. You will serve the market. You will serve the opinions of strangers who do not even know your name. You will live at the mercy of forces you do not control, tossed by every storm, broken by every betrayal, terrified of every setback. And at the end, when you stand before the ruins of your wasted life, you will realize you were never defeated by the world. You were defeated by your own refusal to build your throne. The reality of sovereignty. Sovereignty is not isolation. It is not arrogance. It is not withdrawing from the world. It is moving through the world with an internal fortress that cannot be stormed. It is walking into any room knowing exactly who you are, what you value, and what you will never compromise. It is speaking truths that silence the cowards. It is making moves that the herd cannot comprehend. It is standing alone, without flinching, while the weak scramble for approval. And because you need nothing from the world will eventually offer you everything. But by then, you will not be seduced, because you already have everything that matters inside your own walls. Final command for Lesson 5. Build the empire of one. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for applause. Brick by brick, standard by standard, ritual by ritual. Fortify yourself against a world that feeds on the hollow. Rise as one who is immune to the chaos outside, because they have conquered the chaos within. You were not born to be part of the herd. You were born to be a sovereign soul in a fallen world. So move like it. Speak like it. Build like it. Cut through the smoke. Lay the stones of your empire and reign from a throne that no force on this earth can shake. Lesson 6. Rise and become the fire. The age of preparation is over. There comes a moment, after the silence has been conquered, after the ashes have been sifted, after the craft has been chosen, after the apprenticeship has broken and remade you, after the empire of one has been fortified. There comes a moment where preparation must die, because preparation, no matter how noble, eventually becomes a prison, another form of delay, another excuse to stay small. There's no more time to wait. There's no more training to be done. There's no permission left to seek. Now you rise. Now you ignite. Now you become the fire. Why you must become the fire. The fire is not content to merely exist. The fire does not ask if it is ready. Conditions. The fire burns because it must. It consumes weakness because it must. It transforms the world around it because it cannot do otherwise. You must become the fire, because to stay dormant is death. If you do not act with ruthless urgency, everything you have built will rot from within. Your discipline will wither into resentment. Your sovereignty will collapse into isolation. Your gifts will decay into forgotten potential. Your empire will become a tomb. You are not here to prepare forever. You are here to set the world ablaze with what you have become. The nature of the fire. You must become. The fire does not negotiate. The fire does not explain itself. The fire does not apologize for its existence. It moves through the world as a force of nature, destroying, renewing, creating. And so must you. The fire you must become is made of relentless action, moving forward without hesitation, without waiting for motivation, without needing permission. Unshakable purpose, knowing that everything you do is aligned with the original seed you unearthed, and therefore sacred. Savage persistence, refusing to stop when you are tired, doubted, mocked, or betrayed. Creative destruction, tearing down what no longer serves you without mercy, within yourself, within your life, within your surroundings. Fearless illumination, standing so brightly in your truth that the cowardly flee from you, or are forced to change by your mere presence. You are not here to warm your hands by someone else's fire. You are here to be the inferno. How to rise and become the fire. It will not happen by accident. It is a choice, a violent, deliberate, daily choice. Attack the day before the world wakes. Begin before the doubts can find you. Move before the fears can rise. Destroy hesitation before it gains a foothold. Create relentlessly. Building right. Lead. Move. Do not wait until you are ready, because you never will be. The act of doing creates the readiness you seek. Refuse the voice of delay. The voice that whispers later is the assassin of destiny. Crush it every time it speaks. Move even faster when it appears. Welcome resistance. Every obstacle is proof that you are a threat to the world as it is. Wear resistance like armor. Meet it like an old friend who came to sharpen your blade. Expand ruthlessly. Your power must not stagnate. Seek new challenges. Push into new territory. Grow beyond every comfort zone you demolish. You are either growing your fire, or you are letting it die. There is no neutrality. The consequences of refusing to rise. If you do not rise now, if you do not become the fire, you will fade. Slowly at first, quietly, almost without noticing. You will watch others move past you, not because they are better, but because they acted when you hesitated. You will feel the fire inside you shrink, until one day, it is only a memory, a regret, a ghost that haunts you at the edges of sleep. You will realize, too late, that life did not defeat you. You defeated yourself. You chose comfort over combustion. You chose hesitation over destiny. You chose survival over conquest. And the world you were meant to shape will remain unshaped because you did not rise, the glory of becoming the fire. But if you rise, if you embrace the fire, everything changes. You become a beacon for the lost, a terror to the mediocre, a rallying point for warriors not yet born, a living example of what was always possible. You will move through life not as a beggar hoping for scraps, but as a king forging new worlds with every step, as a queen setting new thrones ablaze for future empires. Your voice will carry weight. Your actions will create ripples across generations. Your existence will demand history take note, because you did not merely live. You burned. You transformed. You became. Final command for Lesson 6. Rise. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not after you feel ready. Now move with the urgency of one who knows that the grave is coming for us all. And the only legacy that survives is the fire we dare to unleash before we fall. Create. Building led. Dominate. Transformation. No more waiting. No more doubting. No more hoping. You have silenced the noise. You have dug through the ashes. You have chosen the battlefield. You have endured the brutal apprenticeship. You have built the empire of one. Now there is only one thing left. Become the fire that reshapes the world in your image. Cut through the smoke. Rise. Burn. Conquer. Or be forgotten among the ashes of the timid. The choice was always yours. To the returning GrimFace warriors, those who have walked through the fire, those who have chosen the brutal, lonely path of self-mastery, we see you. We honor you. Your presence strengthens the ranks of the few who refuse to kneel. Every battle you fight, seen and unseen, builds the empire we are creating together. This is not a community of the weak. This is not a gathering of the distracted. This is a legion of sovereign souls, forged in silence, sharpened by discipline, bound together by a blood oath to conquer the chaos within and command the fate without. You are the fire, and your fire will not be forgotten. To those finding us for the first time, understand this. You were not brought here by accident. Something inside you, buried but not broken, brought you to this threshold. You can turn back. You can return to the noise, the comfort, the slow death the world offers. No one will stop you. Or you can step forward. You can join the few. You can commit to the path of ruthless discipline, brutal self-ownership, and savage fulfillment. Subscribe to the GrimFace movement. Not for entertainment, not for escape, but for war, for transformation, for the empire that still sleeps inside your bones. This is your summons. This is your call. Silence the noise. Cut through the smoke. Rise as fire. Welcome to GrimFace. The war has only just begun.